Hello again everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's been a few days, hasn't it? It's been about a week actually, in fact, a week and a half since our last stream. Life events taken over, of course, some of you are well aware. But we're back, a little bit of an impromptu stream because the missus is not too well actually today, so she's ended up taking the time off work, and therefore she can keep an eye on the dog whilst I can throw myself into a stream with you guys. Nice little bit of a break for myself as well. Spend a few hours with you guys having a bit of fun. Rab, welcome. Sam, hello to you. Badger, good afternoon. Zato, howdy. Living on a Player, welcome. And Dursey2, hello to you guys. And everyone else tuning in for our stream today. We are off to Faro today in Portugal in the Algarve. And we're going to be giving away 2 copies of the new RDPresets Faro airport scenery, recently released for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and yeah, we're going to have a good couple of hours. We are in the Jet2 Holidays livery today, lots on stand actually. Not sure if they're all coming our way, very exciting if they are. Boarding time, hello to you as well. Jack, welcome. Eric Roblox, Ryan, Danny, Matchek, welcome to you guys as well. David Barley, good afternoon buddy. Here we are, near the little Jet2 office, and we've got GSX fired up, giving us the boarding and everything else as well. This really nice demo design painted Jet2 Holidays livery. Package holidays you can trust. Centurio, good morning to you. It's going to be about 3-hour flight time today down to Faro. We've got a cost index of 9 to keep it nice and economical. We're tracking the flight on New Sky as well. For Osprey Airways, got to get those points in for the airline, of course. And 83% baggage already. If you're new to the channel, very warm welcome to you. Hit like and subscribe, and say hello in the live chat too. The terms and conditions for the giveaway, which will start after takeoff, are in the description for today's live stream too. So do take a look at those. By entering, you adhere to and agree to those terms and conditions, and effectively, you've just got to be effectively subscribed to the channel and answer 1 question correctly. Here come the punters. No doubt all excited. She's off. Where's the parents? Jeez. I'm born at the front, I'm born at the back. Crikey. So, we're going to have a few, well maybe 10 or so minutes whilst these 153 punters boards. In the flight deck though, we are pretty much well set up. Chocks are still on at the moment. We've got flap 15 for our departure today. We're pretty heavy actually, for the length of the runway that we've got here at Leeds Bradford. Cruiser flight level 370 and transition altitude of 6,000 feet. Zero fuel weight 57.7 tons, giving us a gross weight currently of 68.3. It'll be about 68.0 estimated roughly for departure, but actually it'll probably be a little bit higher than that. It might be nearer to 68.2 tons instead, so we'll have to potentially rethink our landing calculations by 200 kilos when we get to Faro. Because of the short runway length today and our weights, with that flap 15 to give us a little bit more margin for departure, we're actually using toga again with a climb profile 2 after takeoff. So using all the power that we can squeeze out of the jet. V1 at 135 knots, V rotate 137 and the V2 145 knots today. Giving us a plus 10 speed, climb out V2 plus 10 of 155 knots. David A, good morning. Lazarus, hello to you as well. Auto brakes disarmed at the moment, interesting. I don't think we've got any failures active. Let's find out. No, none. It'll go away soon, no doubt. Right, so our fuel pump is on. And we'll start the APU. Up in the pressurization panel, cruise today flight level 370 and takeoff or landing altitude 700 feet at least for now if we have to turn around and head back for whatever reason. One, 2, 2, 8. And then once we've got Unicom tuned in, let's have a look at our charts. So, firing those up. We're at stand 17 at the moment here at Leeds. We're going to push and start to face west, and then we're going to taxi south on Alpha down to Delta 1 for the whole 0.32. We'll enter the runway with a short backtrack down to the end. We want to try and use as much as possible. And yeah, 2,250 meter runway length today. It estimates that we're going to be rotating around this kind of intersection with Mike, where that runway crossing is, and then taking off pretty much near to about Foxtrot's junction with the runway as well. VAS Airplane Toolbox reckons with flat 15 we're going to have a takeoff margin of 440 meters, which is quite nice. Flat 10 was what it said was optimum, but that reduced the margin down to 300 and I think 320 meters or something like that. So better to be safe than sorry. We've gone for a flat 15 and a slightly bigger margin. Good morning, Matthew. Sam, welcome. AR Simulations, hello. After takeoff, NELSA 3 Whiskey departure. So climbing up initially 1,190 feet or 0.5 DME ILF, whichever is later, then turning on a heading of 311 degrees. 2.1 DME from ILF, very smooth turn, 272 degrees to 3.5, then 232 degrees to that waypoint there, which is 12 DME from Pole Hill VOR, which is up down there, that area, on the charts on a radial of 0.52. At that point, we'll have 1 more mile to travel before we then commence a right turn to 270 degrees, direct NELSA, and that's on a inbound radial of 090 degrees to the lock DME, or actually possibly the NDB. I've had very little sleep, by the way, guys, over the last few days, so expect mistakes, expect me to sort of forget my teeth. It's I've had a really hectic week, but we'll see what we can do. How are we doing on the boarding? Volantis fired up. We've got that ready to go. No ATC. Volantis is a little bit confused as well, actually. So from KARNO, you can see the magenta line goes zipping off over Belarus, over to KLAKI in Russia. We're obviously not going over there. We're going to go KARNO, and then kind of between Cardiff and Bristol. Actually, kind of over Swindon, I think, in fact, and then heading out over Bournemouth to the English Channel, and then away over France initially, then Spain, into Portuguese airspace for our arrival. One screenshot already, let's pop that in. And then in the overhead panel, the APU's ready to go. GSX, prepare for pushback and departure. Quick check of the instruments as well. That's all looking pretty good. APU, please.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Cool. Let's pause the music for there. Patrick, welcome. Curious what you think about LPFR. I've read some bad things like frames per second drops inside the terminal would look like trash and bumps on the runway. Whew. You know what? We'll find out. You know what? So, username Captain Ray in the live chat, aka Behind the Skies. It's interesting because he sent an email to another content creator apologising for spamming about 6 or 7 channels over the course of a few months, and promised to stop effectively because a content creator elsewhere may be about to kind of send a whole load of emails to Orbex, Aerosoft, all of these other things to be like, this guy's a pain in the arse. don't give him the time of day. Yet he still continues. So his new call sign, or his new username is Captain Ray. It's interesting, isn't it?
Locking gear.
It's one of those things where he's kind of basically said, learn to behave nicely, and people will allow you to be part of the wider community. Hence why he's been banned from every channel so far, from Captain Canada all the way through to ourselves. APU gen on. We want anti-collision lights on. I've also got enough to deal with. I don't want to have to deal with an oxygen thief as well. Facing west. One of those. Park brakes on. Let's remove the chocks. That should get rid of the stairs, possibly the door if it's not already closed. Hopefully it is. Leeds traffic. Leeds. Correction. Chanex 4 Papa on stand 17. 737 800 QNH 1014. Push start facing west. Leeds traffic.
Release parking brakes, please.
Leeds.
Commencing push. All engines.
Yeah, that's it, Dan.
Start at will.
It's interesting, isn't it? With your setup, Harry's asking, how many frames do we get at major airports? So, I don't have a referral link for PC specialists, sadly, but do drop them a little email perhaps and say, we've discussed it. Is there anything that they could do? They might be able to assist in maybe giving you something rather than myself. I don't know. But it's a very, very good build that I've got, but I do rely on frame generation, certainly at these bigger airports, Heathrow, JFK, that sort of thing. Melbourne, Orbex Melbourne as well. Let's go ignition mode ground as we commence the push, and watching those engine instruments. Yeah, when we get to Faro, Patrick, we'll have a good explore. We'll have a little look, to be honest. No worries, Stan. Welcome back, welcome back. So that's why we wanted to push, because this is a bit of a false taxiway. It's a big open apron area, but with no way out.
Please set parking brakes.
Honestly, I don't think I'm spamming anymore. Here is my 18th username. I'd rather discuss it with you via email behind the skies. So drop me an email, and then I might give you the time. But I've told Willie to drop you basically a comment in relation to the stuff that I'm dealing with at the moment, and the fact that I don't have time to deal with you effectively. You know, I've got enough on my plate with my mum passing, the dog not being too well, a few other things going on. So I want to enjoy my flight sims without dealing with fools. Ignition mode ground for engine 1. I can't really put it in any other way, can I, guys? Mike Oliver, good afternoon. Zarte saying, gotta say, the Jet 2 A321 Neo is looking fab. I think it was behind there, wasn't it?
Bypass pin removed.
Engine control lever 1 to run.
Right is clear.
Carl, so, sorry, yeah, you did ask a moment ago, didn't you? I do apologise. I did read it. I got sidetracked. So, how do you know which climb profile to use? I use VAS Airplane Toolbox, Carl is asking. It's a preference, really. Climb profile 2 gives you that smoother climb. Certainly for some of these departures where there are a lot of little constraints throughout, climb profile 2 will get you there just as fast. So, in that sense, you probably could get away with using that instead.
This is Chanex 251, stand 15 after the Chanex 737-800 passes me from left to right. We're pushing back from the gate facing west.
Flap 15. Liam is saying he's had issues with Microsoft Flight Simulator recently, since AAU2 constantly crashing. Interesting. Check your add-ons. You might have something like the Salty Sim model, one of the older Heavy Division mods that aren't patched to work, and therefore you might get crash to desktops. Yeah, going back onto climb profiles and things. If you're in doubt, you could use climb profile 1, Carl, but otherwise you could get away with using climb profile 2 to keep it really sort of smooth.
At stand 14, pushing back, facing east. Leeds traffic.
Knox, hello buddy. Very good, thank you. Hope you're okay.
So I've got your call sign. Just be aware I'm pushing back next to you, okay?
Gens 1 and 2. And that's on.
I got you covered, my friend. No worries.
That's all done. That's all set. Gen 1 and 2. We've checked the power output already on those. Probe heat's on. And is the chap out of the way? I'm not sure. Where's the turnaround crew? I think they have already gone. Wowzers. Strobe steady. We don't need that. Still on steady. Anti-collision lights. Taxi lights can go on. Oh yes, an APU can go off. Right. Safety demonstration time.
Welcome on board, and thanks for flying with Jet2.com and Jet2 Holidays.
We're nearly ready for takeoff, but first, please make sure your mobile phones, tablets, and other electronic devices are in flight mode, fully switched off, and safely put away in your hand
Just
luggage.
XE is fast today.
This is
Much
because
better,
you're
right?
not allowed to use them until after takeoff. When the seatbelt signs are
Leeds
switched off,
traffic,
you can use your
Channel
devices
4
again
Papa
as long
is
as they
taxiing
stay
to
in
Hopwood
flight
Delta
mode,
1, runway
as you cannot
32
send
via
texts,
Alpha
make
and
calls,
Delta
or access the
Leeds.
internet while you're on board.
If your device becomes damaged or hot, produces smoke, is lost or falls into the seat or aircraft, you need to tell us immediately.
Yes, Knox. I'm hoping I'll be able to give you guys a preview of it prior to release, but Flight Sim Expo kind of delayed
We also
that
just like to tell you about our friendly on-board together policy.
effectively.
We've
So
created it to protect you and our cabin crew
Turn
from
that
any
down a little bit.
unfortunate antisocial behaviour. That way, we can make sure everyone on board today has a great flight.
As part of this, please remember that you can only drink alcohol that's
crikey, Dan, I didn't realise you could give your dog diabetes with that. I mean, we've been giving Loki, our German Shepherd, we've been giving him
Please now make sure any hand luggage is safely
what they
put
call
away
U-Move
and your
tablets,
seatbelt is
pretty
fastened
much
ahead of takeoff.
his well through his entire life actually, to be honest. So, and yeah, with a massive, huge dose of glucosamine and chondroitin as well.
Leeds traffic, Chinook 251, we're starting the push now, facing west.
That's got me deep in thought now. I didn't realise you could give your dog diabetes through glucosamine. Have I ever heard of Resonero? No, I haven't actually. A potential competitor to self-loading cargo and PackX. Nice. No, I haven't actually. That's the first time I've heard about it, but that sounds quite interesting. For today's departure, by the way, we've got, I think it's 11 or 12 knot crosswind when I last checked. Ooh yeah. LNAV, VNAV, auto thrust. Oops. There's the METAR. So wind's variable 190 degrees to 260 degrees, but the mean 230 at 10 knots. Few clouds 800, scattered at 3000. QNH 1014.
3862 taxiing via Alpha Delta, holding short 32. Leeds traffic.
Yeah, that's not too bad actually. It has come down a little bit. Right, so bleeds packs, probes, lights, approach. Let's check that. Orbex Leeds Bradford scenery.
Charlie Mike pushing back, stand 6 facing east.
Strobe steady. Runway turn off lights, landing lights on. They're on continuous. And quick master caution check. Leeds traffic, Chanex 4 Papa is backtrack runway 32.
Leeds traffic, Orange 49 Lima will be pushing start from stand 12.
Traffic mode on.
Facing west to Faro. Leeds traffic.
Yeah, so Carl's asking, is the new landing VFR A321 update still worth getting? Does anyone know if it's still the same? So I still don't have it. For me, it's one of those products that's kind of on par with Captain Sim, so I actively avoid it. If I'm being honest with you, don't think it's that great. Jim, the Beast, asking what add-on was there for the safety demonstration. That was lukeairtool.net. It's freeware as well, which is great, so do check it out. Ooh, that's weird. Do you see that? That's very odd. Like some Tobii eye tracker bug with that display there. Okay, so as we said, toga departure. I haven't seen the windsock actually. Didn't look for it, but ever paranoid, so we'll try and find one. There it is. So that's important. Certainly on the entering the runway, always try and look for the windsock. It will give you an idea. In aeroplanes like this, we've got to angle that stick into wind a little bit. It's an AAU2 bug. Interesting. Okay, sharp turn. We want to go right to the edge of the runway, not down the hill though. It's not ski season anymore. And we want to line up as accurately to the base as we can to give us that extra little bit of length. It's been a long time since we last flew from Leeds, to be honest. But here we are.
3862 after the departing company, we will backtrack.
I didn't realise actually there was such a terrain drop at the end of the runway there. It's insane, isn't it? That can be quite confusing approaching and landing there. That terrain kind of coming up to you. Okay, that's all set. Everything is set. Yeah, jolly good. Let's go, shall we? So, control visualizer. Let's get that on for you. There's the windsock. So because of that, I'm going to angle the stick into wind for our takeoff. Leeds traffic, Chanex 4 Papa is taking off runway 32, NELSA 3 Whiskey departure. Leeds traffic. So brakes off, but I'm holding it on the brakes now
Leeds traffic,
because I don't want to start the roll too soon. 40% looks good.
Via Delta.
Night Shadow, welcome, good morning. Brakes off and toga, that's just the door issue, it's gone. Quick double check to make sure. I'm keeping that aileron into wind, power set.
Leeds traffic, Chanex.
Downhill now. Zoom, zoom.
Backtracking runway 32. Leeds traffic.
Getting kind of sucked off.
Charlie Mark, taxi and Delta 1 via Alpha Charlie.
Wow.
And Delta.
Gear up. Following the flight director. Still in manual flight at the moment. Gently following the flight director. We're not forcibly chasing it. But we've got LNAV, VNAV, auto thrust, CMDA engaged. So the autopilot's now got it through flap 5. Let's get rid of some of those flaps. Auto brake goes off. Runway tunnel lights off. Engine start, ignition mode, selector switches off. Control visualizer off. And climbing away through flap 1 now. And then we'll go flaps up. There we go. Adam, welcome aboard. Thanks for subscribing. It's like a weird white line around the glass. Bit of a weird one actually. This one here particularly is like a little white line that keeps appearing every now and again. We'll keep an eye out for it. And I'm just going to set 370 now for cruise. But I'm going to leave it to climb through the SID.
Leeds.
2R1139.
Leeds traffic Osprey 7 for Romeo is pushing back after the passing of 737 2V from
Pole Hill. Click that so it's active.
My right to left. Leeds traffic.
And we'll keep the control wheel coming out and around.
Orange, Leeds traffic, Orange 49 Lima will taxi via Alpha
So,
November.
where we go? Into a little bit of cloud for now. We are on our way. Cracking paint scheme here for this Jet 2 Holidays livery. Interestingly, I was looking at flight radar the other day, and they had a flight operate from here with a 737-300, I think it was, that said on the thing, on the what you call it. Oh, I can't remember what it's called now. On the flight radar screen where you got the aircraft type code, that little bit. But it said 733, which really threw me off. And I just thought it must be either a typo or some rogue weird wet lease. Turn the landing gear, selector mode off. Not yet boarding time. Pop that off. They still operate the 300. My goodness, I actually didn't know that. I was actually quite surprised to see it, to be honest.
Leeds traffic, Chanex 3862.
What are they like? Because I mean, they're pretty old now, aren't they?
Departing
So they're
runway
pretty awful to
32
fly on still.
Via the NELSA 3 Whiskey departure.
Let's continue to climb up now. So
Leeds
altitude intervention. We've cleared the NELSA constraint of flight level 70.
251 behind you, departing Jet 2 on runway 32. We'll be backtracking runway 32, Leeds traffic.
There we go.
And what do you think of your attention once we have reached this haven?
That's weird. Like some American Airlines Duty Free announcement. Inside the Jet 2 pack. Six 737s. The 300 variant. Absolute madness. I didn't know. Very cool. Right, so we're almost through 10,000. We'll get ready to turn the landing lights off. Lots of pretty thick cloud actually, look. Kind of avoiding that little bit of cumulus there. So this is climb profile 2, but we're still climbing pretty quickly. Going back to that question that somebody asked earlier on. Hello, Defect in Columbus, Georgia, US. Welcome. Thanks for joining us today.
Leeds traffic, Chanex 3862, airborne 3,000 feet for 7,000.
There's currently no GSX profile available for this new RDPresets Faro, which is a little bit of a shame. Some of the new scenery is coming out from certainly Orbex with Melbourne and a few others that have come out recently as well. The Unibuild Stansted that's coming soon as well. They all seem to now get custom GSX profiles within them, which is really good. Really good. We don't have one available for this one though, sadly, at the moment. There's somebody flying overhead.
251, taking off runway 32.
Yeah, clouds are spectacular, aren't they, Sam? We are Jet 2 today, Night Shadow, or jet2.com. We're in their Jet 2 Holidays livery. I'm very excited for any builds Stansted D-Pod, to be honest. The freeware one that's available has been available for a little while, but it's kind of abandonware, isn't it? It's not great. I actively avoid it now because it's pretty rubbish. Giveaway, as always, super easy. All you got to do is answer one question correctly, but to answer, you've got to be subscribed to the channel first. Otherwise, Nightbot will detect and delete the entry, part of the terms and conditions. You don't have to worry about caps, but you've got to make sure it is spelt correctly, of course, as well. Only enter the one time. And the question is this: which resort region of Portugal does Faro Airport serve?
Leeds traffic, Channel 3862.
Aero lovers,
direct
welcome.
BARTN.
Sam, no, I never got a chance to go to the Expo, unfortunately. Very much like to, though, maybe next year. I'm hoping, because there was suggestions of
You're allowed to give yourself direct.
people throwing out ideas of where they want to see next year's show, next year's Expo, and
no, you have to,
I've thrown out there that I
doing
quite like Canada to be involved.
Okay.
So I think that would be a great idea. Canada or something like that. Who knows? We'll see what happens next year, but I would very much like to attend. We got Manchester down there, I think. The airport might just be under the cloud there. Not sure. Have a little quick punt on Valanta and have a little zoom in to see what it is. Oh, it's actually going to be on the left. Okay, well let's kick them off the left-hand side and move the passengers about to go and have a look. Another scenery that's kind of instilted in place, I suppose. Birmingham being one of those as well. Mako Simulations, not sure where they've gone anymore. Fantastic developer though. It's they've kind of fizzled away a little bit. Aerolover saying, does MSFS live traffic or FSLTL or AIG traffic match the same traffic on Flight Radar 24? So the only one that does match the Flight Radar traffic is FSLTL, and that will then, you need to use the injector for that, Aero lovers. So you've got to download the FSLTL package, the base pack, and then also run the injector to see it all. But if you are flying on VATSIM, you must not use the injector, because it will then end up having to you'll end up getting confused, because you'll see VATSIM traffic but also injected traffic via the injector, and yeah, that's a no-no. So if you're flying on an online network like VATSIM or IVAO, you don't use the injector at all. Yeah, Nox, absolutely. Max, great always to chat to. But yeah, I'm the same, Dursey too. I'm a little worried. The more updates that we get, the more updates that progress in MSFS, and then thinking ahead into MSFS 2024, are some of these sceneries that have kind of been a little bit abandoned or feel abandoned, are they going to still work? We don't know. Mako Simulations, Manchester and Birmingham, and Cancun, forget they made Cancun as well, are in that category of I just don't know. Yeah, the FSLTL base pack was updated last week, I think. Night Shadow's asking for the giveaway question again. It's going to be put into the live chat every 7 to 10 minutes as a reminder, but the question is, which resort region of Portugal does Faro Airport serve? We've got 2 copies to give away today, courtesy of RDPresets, of their new Faro Airport scenery, so we will have a little look to see what we get when we get there, what it all looks like, and we will draw the 2 winners upon arrival. If you are drawn as a winner, you've got to email me on britishavgeek1@gmail.com or contact me via Discord. The username there now is britishavgeek. It does, Zato. Mark, yeah, hello. Very good, thanks. Well, good as we could be, I guess. The dog's doing well, thanks, boarding time. He doesn't think there's anything wrong with him, that's the thing. So even though he's got this huge scar down his leg, he wanted to go upstairs today, which is bizarre. He also wants to go out for walks and things like that, which makes it difficult. I know, Andy. He just doesn't. He doesn't know. Bless him. It's hard trying to kind of manage it, I suppose. He doesn't know. I mean, his biggest thing at the moment is spitting out his pills because he knows that. Because he knows now there's pills in his food. What he does is he kind of licks the edge of the food to see if there's a taste of pill, and then if there is any potential remnants, he just goes and spits it out, and then refuses to eat because he knows there's pills that make him feel funny or sleepy in the food. So silly boy, he's too intelligent for his own good. Even that doesn't work anymore, Luke. We've tried wedging it in cheese. We've tried wedging them in ham. We've tried doggy peanut butter. The other day, my wife put it in egg. So boiled an egg, pushed the pill into the egg. He loves eggs, and even that he was like and spit it all out. It's just insane. But he has to take. At the minute, he's on 2 dog versions of penicillin. 2 of those every 12 hours. He's on some quite strong kind of sedative pills to make sure he doesn't go crazy with energy and start trying to do zoomies and things. And he's on 3 of those every 8 hours throughout the day, not in the night though. And then he's on Metacam, good old that kind of oral solution for anti-inflammatory and pain, acute pain. He actually quite likes that one though. It must be quite sweet or salty. He laps that one up, but it's all the other pills he really doesn't like. Patrick, nice. You're off to the F1 in Austria this weekend. Very exciting. Is that something you do quite often? Yeah, we've tried that as well, Airnot. And what happens is he stands there because now he's not sure if it's a treat genuine or if it's a trick and it's a pill. So basically, if you threw it in the air thinking it's a bit of cheese or a bit of a treat, he lets it bounce off his face so that he can look at it first. It's frustrating. We'll get there. Sam enjoys sports day. Yeah, welcome to you. No worries at all. I think that's probably going to be the way, Badger. We just haven't got any way to do it, to grind the pills. Centre tanks nearing empty, so we've got to keep an eye on that. When that almost hits 0, we'll isolate those centre fuel pumps. Once again, we're almost at cruise. Ooh, action shot, look at that. It's almost like an advert. Just need Jess Glynn in the background now. hopefully 777 won't be too far away. Maybe sort of, I don't know, September, October, November if I was to guess. But that will close in quite quickly. Really, really excited for that. Aerosoft A330 as well. Shouldn't be too far away, hopefully. We've got the Just Flight F-28 Fellowship due soon, for which I'm hoping to bring you guys some cool content prior to its release, perhaps. See if it all works out timing-wise, and keeping an eye looking after the dog and stuff as well, working that around the streams and the channel and all the admin. Yeah, that's it. Night Shadow. It's coming at some point in the future, just don't know when. Actually saying the free flight 777 version 2 for X-Plane shouldn't be too far around. It's about 80 to 85% done. That's pretty cool. Jack, yeah, I have. What a joke. Didn't they just recently do pre-orders for the MD-11? And now all of a sudden they're asking for more pre-orders. That to me rings huge alarm bells. Cash issues, whatever else going on with TFDI. It doesn't fill me with any confidence at all anymore. The fact that they're doing that again, it's insane. But people risking their own cash, I guess, still throwing money at it, pre-ordering it. Personally, my sensible side of my brain would say don't do it. Yeah, Cesato, they did it about a year ago, didn't they? What they've done now is they've post FS Expo decided to bring back the pre-orders for the MD-11. That's yeah, big old red flag for me. I don't know, it just sounds like they've got a massive finance issue with the company, so they now need to ask for basically crowdfunding to survive again. That's in my head, that's usually what goes through my mind, but who knows, who knows. Looking forward to the Bluebird Sim 757. That'd be great. That's the one that I'm really looking forward to. I've got a lot of memories with the 757. Primarily only with the RB211 turbofan engines though. Not a fan of the Pratt & Whitney option. Patrick, no, they're part of... God, what's the name of the company? Can't remember the name of the company now. I'll have to Google it. Invinix, there we go. So Invinix effectively own Jetstream Radio. They part of Milviz, Rex Game Studios, Parallel 42, Flying-Side Creation Web apparently, as well as all business partners. It says. I don't know exactly what that means though. Yeah, Invinix owns a few things. Yeah, the sensible thing is to just wait for it to be released. I mean, there are enough... I know they would say it is going to release at some point, but you just don't know what's going to happen in the next 2 to 3 years while everybody's waiting for this to come out. Oh yeah, Andy, I wouldn't worry about that. I wouldn't get... Certainly I wouldn't get Premium Deluxe just for the Dreamliner, even post AAU 2. It's a huge price upgrade really for not very much. I mean, you're possibly better off putting the money aside for MSFS 2024 perhaps, or sticking it aside for that 777. Yeah, the pre-order is basically crowdfunding, Patrick. $370, that's our cruise. 0.56 left. But yeah, don't pre-order it. That would be my advice anyway, my sensible advice. Oh, look what I've just noticed. Look at those reflections on the engine. That is absolutely remarkable. I've not seen that before. That's why, Luke, yeah. So Invinix and PAC-X and TFDI designs are all one and the same. That's actually quite incredible, isn't it? Chrome. Oh. Upside down clouds. That's pretty swish. I wonder how we can get creative with that in a screenshot. We have to contact London Control. No, they are. But they've gone offline now anyway. Yeah, they've gone offline anyway. They were controlling that little south sector anyway, so sort of Southampton across to Gatwick. Yeah, Airnot, that is true in part. It depends on what you're downloading. So there are some freeware projects and sceneries and aircraft that will rely on elements of Premium Deluxe's package for their freeware product to work. But if you don't have it, then just don't use that particular add-on. Otherwise, you've got to pay about 50 quid to be able to use a freeware add-on that you might use a couple of times and then not use again, perhaps. It's all a balance on basically what your budget is, what your kind of experience is as well in the flight sim, what you want to achieve out of it. CD90, dog's doing alright, thanks. It's a lot of work, it's tiring, very tiring. Gavatron, welcome. Let's have a little look at the trains so far. So where are we? There we are. Over Newport now, Wales. Crossing between Cardiff and Bristol. Over sort of Avonmouth. And then down to the English Channel for SALCO. That waypoint halfway across. Over Brest Centre. Bay of Biscay. A little bit of northwest Spain there. Before then zipping across Portugal all the way down to Faro. Like that little chromey screenshot in there as well. There's some of it, a little group there flying. A little Eurowings group by the looks of it. VATSIM's pretty alive. But here's our little group anyway. So I'm over the South Wales Gliding Club at the moment. We've got badge behind, Osprey 919 flying offline. It always, I don't know why, but it always zooms out. Zato, Chanix 3862. In the A321, that does look pretty good, doesn't it? Their new A321 Neo, isn't it? I think. I'm right in thinking they're all moving to a an all Airbus fleet soon. Bit of a kick to Boeing, isn't it, with the 737s? It's an EasyJet off to Madeira from Manchester. Just happens to be on the same flight path route. Jack as well. Chanix 4 Papa. The confusing. We're Chanix 4 Papa. Maybe they're flying offline as well. Who else have we got? VATSIM. Okay, Sergi. Chanix 3 Charlie Mike. Nice screenshot. Ski Boy, TFL 49 Lima. TFL, trying to think what that is. Not sure. AR Sim Pilot, Osprey 7 Papa Romeo. Couple of screenshots here. Very nice. Steep climb out. That's a great image. what else we got? Yeah, it's the last man. Yeah, definitely last man, I think. Lovely job. Andrew, yeah, no, I'm always still around. I've been in Discord, in our Discord server instead, because I've got a lot of things going on at the moment. It's kind of filled me up a little bit with time. Dog needing a fair bit of care and stuff like that as well. So I've basically been away from the channel for about 10 days, Andrew. Next stream as well after this will be the 8th of July, so it'll be another week again, but there's just there's too much to do and not enough time, unfortunately, so that's why there's been a bit of a gap. Jack, that's you, nice one. Flying on VATSIM Chanex 251, awesome. Gasrex, yeah, hopefully not. Maybe towards the end of the summer for the A330, who knows. We'll have to just wait and see, I guess. Josh, you just got to answer the question correctly. That's all you got to do. Boarding time, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what it looks like. Boarding time, by the way, folks, is working on a another Osprey Airways kind of like cinematic promotional kind of video. Looking really good so far. Still bits to finish and tweak and edit, but be looking forward to sharing with that with you all at some point in the future. Tom in Brampton saying, why'd you add 10 knots to the V2 speed? It's like a buffer. It's like a like a little speed margin. And that way, it's basically a margin that will allow you. So if you lose speed for whatever reason, I don't know, a massive headwind suddenly tails off, and you lose a little bit of speed, you're still going to be above V2. No reshade, Matchek. No reshade at all. It's just all generic default NVIDIA graphics settings and default MSFS graphics. CT90 saying, why? Do you know why on the 737 I would always have the red warning light, cabin altitude above flight level 150 every flight? It's probably because your cabin's depressurized, and I would imagine that's because you might not have set this cabin pressurization panel here. Got to set your cruise altitudes and all that, and if you have done that and it's still happening, it's highly likely that you've not set up this panel correctly. Recirc fans automatic, packs on auto, left and right packs automatic, isolation valve auto, engine bleeds on. There's the coast in the English Channel. Stretching off to the right, got Devon and Cornwall. Very nice part of the UK. After engine start, CT90. Because before engine start, if you have basically you've got to follow the process of starting the engines up. You need the APU bleed on for that. You don't want to bleed the engines for those, so you turn those off, make sure they're off, and then you put them onto automatic. Best thing to do would be to have a little look at my PMDG 737 tutorials, and that would just help you kind of polish a few bits, dig through the playlist, and find out the areas that you kind of want to pick up on and get a little bit more confident with, and hopefully they will help. Oh, VATSIM, that kind of fell apart, unfortunately. I mean, effectively, I had it priced up for it to be animated, and it was over £1,000. Which naturally I don't have, so that's why that's kind of ground to a halt. There's the giveaway question in the live chat again. Answer only once. Yeah, I mean, we had it recorded, so I'd done the whole recording for the safety demonstration, everything else to integrate into these sort of custom audio packs like Luke Air Tool. Had all that sorted out. We'd actually started to create an animated kind of splash screen, as well as if it's on the IFE screen playing out as like a border, for the animation to be then on the white screen in the middle of that kind of video, if you like. But yeah, over £1,000, crazy. So I understand that, yeah, naturally I'll turn that down. Brian, very nice. Welcome back. Back from a 2-week holiday in Tavira via Faro. Where's Tavira? Is that in Portugal as well? What's our cruise today? It's a very sensible Max 7.8. Might whack the speed up. We'll do Mach 8.0 or we'll do Mach 7.9. Andrew saying, just thought of a question. I see many streamers in the 737 don't change or turn the knob for the AC electrical power to APU Gen 1, Gen 2. Your 737 still shows ground power? No, it doesn't. This one. So we had it on ground power. Usually I'll flick it to APU Gen as well to look at the power output, but I think I might have forgotten that actually. And then yeah, Gen 1 and 2, I'll flick that. Yeah, it's on Gen 1 at the moment, just monitoring Gen 1. But I always kind of flick that. It's important to see what is happening to the power output as well. So if suddenly we start to see a loss in AC or DC sort of power inside the aeroplane, we might think that Gen 1 could be failing. So then if we get a master caution or a warning, then that could be where we kind of spot that. And then Gen 2 as well, the same. Yeah, I don't know, Andrew. I do. I just feel like it would be a logical thing to do. Not have a good one. So there's KLAKI. Valanta thinks it's KLAKI in Russia, not KLAKI on the English channel. But yeah, obviously very similar places. Fuel master caution. That's the centre tanks there empty, so we'll clear that. Ups onto the panel. Identify the fuel pumps that we want to turn off. We'll pop them both off. Happy days. And let's run the master caution again. All good. Yeah, all it does, Andrew, is give you that display change, so you can flick it around and see what is active and what's not, what's generating power and what's not. So you could leave it on APU Gen all flight if you wanted to, I suppose, or just not touch it. But for me, after engine start, I'll check the power output of Gen 2 and Gen 1, and then I'll leave it on Gen 1. Otherwise, yeah, there's no way that we can physically see that the generators are working. That gives us a visual readout. VATSIM, I don't know. We'll find out when we get there, but then it might be too late to enter. I did have a little look at the RDPresets Faro earlier. We basically spawned in to create the thumbnail for today, and that was it. But from a distance, in about 20 seconds, I thought, "Ooh, that looks quite nice." But we'll have a look. There's been a few comments already, though, that have been interesting earlier on, and now Brian as well, saying some bumps in the taxiway and apron in the updated Faro. Is that the Asobo version or the RDPreset payware version? Also hit the rubber stamp bushes to the east side of the airport. Apart from that, it's a nice, accurate version. Remind me when we get there, so that we can have a little dig around and have a look. I'll be interested to see what it looks like. How's Melbourne, folks, as well? Who has purchased Melbourne based on our stream the other week? Our little a special preview live for that new Orbex Melbourne Airport, which we then released the day after our live stream. Seemingly very good things heard about it from across kind of the community when I've been checking in on Discord and things like that. But curious to hear what you will think while you're watching live. Is it a good scenery? Does it work pretty well? I think they've done a remarkable job with it. Australian Aviation said it's so good but my PC can barely run it. Have you toggled everything off in the configurator thing as well? Lots of customizable options, of course. It is a remarkable scenery, big scenery though. Luke Newman there saying that he removed the passengers in the terminal and it ran a lot better. Living on a player, that's fair enough. It's not going anywhere, is it? That's the thing. So you know that you'll be able to pick it up at some point. That plus Hamilton Island, I think, was a perfect combination for flying around Australia. Two really fantastic sceneries. Australia are smashing it really with some of the scenery available for MSFS. New Zealand, I think, leading the charge really. Probably maybe on par Australia and Greece. But yeah, you've got Fly Tampa Sydney, Melbourne now from Orbex. You've got Alice Springs by Impulse Simulations, I think it was. If memory serves me right. AUC in Hamilton Island. Got a couple of the other ones as well. You've got a couple of Tasmanian airports dotted around, and a fair bit of freeware too. And a payware Perth coming soon too, seemingly. So Australia's pretty well covered. It does need like a Darwin or something though in the north. Andrew, yes. I do kind of agree, to be honest. Some of them do seem, just generally, some products do seem a little overpriced at times. Yeah, Hamilton Island's one of my favourites. It's got that, flying in certainly, it's got that kind of punchy wow factor, hasn't it? Especially as you're descending and swerving in over the, swooping in over the Whitsundays. Luke Newman says, as a Tarzy boy originally, super happy and surprised about the great Tasmania content already released, but yeah, we need a Darwin. Yeah, Jack, Pyre Devco is working on an East Midlands airport. If you haven't seen some of the progress images for that, then it is really, really good. That, dare I say, I don't want to jinx the guy, but it may well be the best scenery, full stop, on its release. for MSFS. Might be the leader. But yeah, we'll open up a lot of options. As you're saying, there is a suggestion. You've got the 757 and some DHL ops in that, and the AnyBuilds A300 600F when it comes. But of course, Joey as well saying their performance is a bit of a question. Farig tends to do well with optimising the sceneries though. Huge cargo airport, but there's a lot of low cost flying as well. Christos from Thessaloniki, Kalispera. And Kraza, welcome. A little poke at the Aerosoft North Sea pack there, because it does extend to the English Channel and the Irish Sea as well, and some of the fjords up near Norway. Got a couple of ships zipping in over the channel there. Yeah, the 757 will be epic. I just hope it lives up to our expectations. There's a lot of hype and anticipation for that, isn't there? It's a long way off still yet, but... So we're at SALCO. Let's pick up a quick fuel check. .4 tons apparently, so we're 0.2 over. That's good. Fuel balance is slightly offset, but that's within margins and stuff. I'm not going to worry about balancing that. Andrew, mainly Xbox users, unfortunately, they kind of get arm wrestled into having to purchase things like that to make it look half decent on Xbox. Yeah, the Aerosoft A330 is going to be fantastic. It's going to be that nice mid-range again, isn't it? Like the CRJ, where it will be hopefully priced quite nicely, but full of detail as well. Josh is hyped for Fenix version 2. Me too. I'll actually be able to then use it again and enjoy it without absolute carnage on sort of 50% of the flights. Roll the dice every time I load in, and that thing does my head in. Which is why I haven't done the Fenix for a long time now. I'm just getting really tired of it being buggy and a bit messy. Not for everyone though, but for me and a few others it seems to be anything other than a smooth experience. Yeah, I know from conversation, Andrew, with them a little while ago now. Whether or not that's changed, I don't know. I didn't get a chance to kind of see any content in relation to Bluebird from FS Expo. So I don't know if it has changed, but they were looking into creating a studyware version, or a kind of study level, so to speak, or high fidelity, as I'd rather call it, version of it. But also creating a little bit more of an arcadey version as well. With a lot less kind of features, so you just get in and fly a 757 sort of thing. Christos hoping for an Airbus A220. We don't know. I think was it Synaptic Simulation that were making an A220, but I've got no idea what is happening with that. There's been I don't think I've seen any updates for it, to be totally honest. Let's have a little look. I'll go into their Discord server because I think I'm still in it. I don't think I've bumped out of it yet. Synaptic, I'm sure it was them. A22X development updates. So the last update was on the 22nd of April. It was the breakthrough, a stream. But I don't think it had actually any progress in it, did it, beyond renders? 8th of June, they're saying, calling all experienced Blender and Substance Painter users as we work on unwrapping our new models and implement highly requested features like cabin and interior details. We're looking for a few more 3D artists specialised in unwrapping and animations and texture artists to join the team. So I reckon at least a year plus away. It's got to be. I wonder if they're going to replicate the absolute trash engine options on the A220 as well, because airlines like Air Baltic and everything else, they are absolutely sick to the back teeth of the performance and the kind of what's the word? The durability of the A220 Pratt & Whitney engines. I think that some of the was it Air Baltic? I think they're replacing them every 2,000 flight hours, not every 20,000 flight hours. So A220 engine issues. Let me Google it. Yeah, Pratt & Whitney geared turbofan 1500G engines failing left, right, and centre. And because it's so widespread as well, Pratt & Whitney are also now dealing with an issue where they can't supply replacements quick enough. So some of the airlines like Air Baltic that are heavily reliant on an A220 fleet are just really struggling at the moment. FAA, there was 4 separate in-flight engine shutdowns in 2019. So the US FAA issued airworthiness directives to A220 operators in 2019 and 2020. On May the 4th, that this year? Yeah, May the 4th this year, Iraqi Airways had been ordered to ground its entire A220 fleet by the Iraq Civil Aviation Authority. They got 4 in service there. Latvian flag carrier Air Baltic, they were forced to temporarily wet lease additional aircraft between March 27th and May the 31st this year due to almost a dozen of its 300s being grounded. African airlines are being hit as well. Air Tanzania, they've been grappling with Pratt & Whitney issues. There you go. So, this is so shocking. People thought the Dreamliner had issues with the Rolls-Royce engine durability problems, but the Pratt & Whitney engines on the A220, they're supposed to be removed for maintenance after 5,260 landings, which should be a couple of years. But due to engine design defects, they're removed before even 1,000 landings. That says to me, I don't want to fly on an A220. Yeah, I mean they sound cool, they look cool as aeroplanes as well. Yeah, May the 17th, there's another aviation kind of article here saying there's 10 Air Baltic A220-300s grounded, 16 engines stuck in the Latvian carrier's hangars awaiting repair with no resolution in sight. The Air Baltic CEO told delegates in Europe, that's some aviation thing, I'm a very patient and calm person until it comes to the subject of Pratt & Whitney. We sat with them, we discussed the issue of not having sufficient spare engines for the A220. Pratt & Whitney said they cannot provide new technology engines for the foreseeable future. And because of that, Gauss said that Air Baltic, his airline, is unlikely to have sufficient engines in 2023 or 2024. Therefore, he's got 16 engines on pallets wrapped and ready to be shipped to an MRO, but there's no slot that you can get to repair the engines. The engines are simply rotting in our hangar. I mean, that's pretty dire, isn't it? Air Baltic, sadly, have got a single fleet strategy, so they've ended up putting all their eggs in one basket with an A220 and having many problems because of it. 13th of December 2022, Air Canada A220 diverts to Minneapolis after an engine failure. Pretty bad, isn't it? I mean, this is even worse. This has popped up now. I've got to read it out. Air Tanzania flags A220 Pratt & Whitney engine problems, and that's on the 14th of November last year. Air Tanzania will temporarily cancel flights or reduce frequencies to address technical problems with Pratt & Whitney engines on its A220-300s. Lots of blah. Where is it? Yeah, all sorts of airworthiness directives, prompted by an uncommanded dual engine shutdown upon landing, resulting in compromised braking capability due to the loss of engine power and hydraulic systems. The unsafe condition, if not addressed, could result in a runway excursion. It doesn't get much more serious than that, does it? Imagine, say we're flying to Faro now, and yeah, we touch down, and the second we touch down on the runway, both the engines wobble and fail. That's like 6 new trousers time, right? It's pretty bad. Josh saying Amir from Phoenix had no talk of sharklets included in the Phoenix version 2. Yeah, I don't think they will. It was one of those things they said that they would do, didn't it? Yeah, didn't they? Back in the day, early days of the Phoenix being released, they said that they would work on IAEs and sharklets, but yeah, it certainly seems that the sharklets have just vanished, disappeared. Kokomoka saying the Pratt & Whitney 1100 is not only on the 220 but also the 320 Neo family and the E2 Embraers. Wow. Lazarus says if I could listen to an engine for the rest of my life, it would be the one in the A350 1000. What a roar that engine has. Is that, I assume you mean the Rolls-Royce engine option for that? Yeah, it sounds like the A220 is pretty screwed at the minute. The thing is, I wouldn't be comfortable getting on an A220 now, and I would imagine every single time the pilots take off in that thing, they must think, oh god, is this the flight? Is this the flight we lose an engine? Joey Goofy says KLM have also grounded a couple of Embraer E2s because of engine problems and a weird oil smell. Yeah, probably the same Pratt & Whitney stuff. Geared turbo fans from Pratt & Whitney. I think it's one of the issues. I think was it Rolls-Royce that came out and said that they have squeezed every millimetre of efficiency out of their engines, and to the point the technology has kind of reached its limit. And because of that, it has caused durability problems, because they've shaved bits here and there, they've tweaked and changed things to make it as efficient as possible, and they cannot simply get the engines any more efficient, but it has hampered durability. Yeah, hello to you, welcome. Very good, thanks, hope you're well. Hey, almost 2 years, thanks for the ongoing support. It's been with us for 22 months as a gold frequent flyer. Zato, nice. Been with the same month, thank you very much. Joe says, when can we keep complaining about sport cyclists? Yeah, don't get me started. Bloody idiots. I can't stand them anymore. That's it, I've decided. Absolutely painful. I was saying at work the other day, I should go and buy a lottery ticket and then give it to someone at work who would then likely win. Because I've given it away. Because the bad luck streak continues. I think we're about 7 now. It's supposed to only come in 3s. Darcy 2, been with us 17 months. epic. By the way, Midsummer Madness is coming soon. That massive Birmingham VATSIM event at Birmingham Airport in the Midlands. Is it the 5th or 6th? Or both days in August? Can't remember now actually. Let me dig it out. And we're hoping to be involved. They've officially invited Osprey Airways. I'm hoping I can stream that day. Where is it? I'm on night shift those days, so it is going to be tough. But yeah, 5th and 6th of August between 10 and 20 Z or UTC. So I'm likely to be able to stream on the 5th of August, depending on the ability to make sure we've got dog care and things like that as well. Make sure I can keep an eye on him. But yeah, likely looking at the 5th of August for that Midsummer Madness on VATSIM with folks at Birmingham Airport. It'll have to be a short route as well, because they're going to be mad delays on the ground. Either that or we can fly into Birmingham instead, perhaps. That's another option. Because I can't be late for work. But we are going to be donating some merchandise from our channel as part of their big giveaway. So they're going to have loads of prizes throughout the event across those 2 days in the event. And we're going to be donating 2 British Half Geek baseball caps and 2 mugs as well from the store. No, 3 mugs instead. I raised him from 2 mugs to 3 mugs. So we've got 5 prizes that we will be donating. Oh my goodness. Why have InnyBuilds done that to me? I emailed them the other day based on the whole Stansted thing, and they've just sent me London Stansted InnyBuilds for a preview. Ah. Maybe that'll be our flight for the 8th. And they're happy to give away 1 copy to give away to the community as well in a giveaway stream. I'd imagine all the other content creators will be doing the same things too. Very exciting for that one. I know. Thing is, if they had sent that earlier on, we would be doing Stansted to Faro. They are 2 hours, 3 hours too late. Christian saying, I love the A220. I fly across Canada on Air Canada's A220 on a regular basis. Most issues I have with flights are with the Asian A320 and 330s. By contrast, he's comfortable with the A220. That's interesting then. That's good to know. You're up asking about cargo aprons at Birmingham. The MD-11 would pretty much fill up one of those cargo areas, I think. Christos, thanks. Bay of Biscay coming up now, I think. That's the coast of France. The bottom of Brest. I think it is. Let's have a little look. Oh, no, it's not. That is... no, that's someone else. Where are we? Yeah, that is the coast of France. And we're now zipping over onto the Bay of Biscay. So in about an hour... or about 30-40 minutes, we should be tickling the Spanish coast. I knew that would happen. Yeah, it was good to fly out of Leeds, to be fair, actually. It's been a long time, but it's quite a nice scenery for what it is. Nice little small airport. Keep smashing the like button, folks, if you are enjoying today's live stream. Now we've got to work out what to do with Stansted. Josh is asking if we've been to Faro in real life. Maybe years and years ago as a kid, but I really can't remember it. I think we have been once, but that would have been over 15 years ago now, I think. So what Inibuilds have sent, by the looks of it here, I'm just reading this kind of media email that they've sent us. It's a beta, still pending some additional features, as well as some other smaller details. It's going to include handmade ground textures with crisp, bespoke texture sets, runways, aprons, paths, roads, true-to-life airport landside recreation with custom ground decals, signposts, vegetation, parking barriers and more, accurately modelled and positioned dynamic airport lighting, highly detailed models of all airport buildings, objects and surroundings, up-to-date airport layout reflecting the current real-world location, custom-built jetways with realistic variations using PBR textures and animations, level of detail optimization for every model to encourage the best performance possible, and they've used the latest SDK kit to allow for the best optimization and performance. Custom static aircraft, hopefully we could toggle those off. Bespoke taxi signage as it is in the real world for Stansted. Ian, hello buddy. Good evening to you. To the side of the world. Hope all are well. Went out for dinner to celebrate the boys' great school. Reports the better half got a new role at work. Fantastic. Double whammy. Double congratulations. Hope the meal was nice as well. I found myself yesterday, Ian, recontemplating putting in for the Western Australia application thing. Doc says Faro's back to landing on runway 28 now, so that's going to change our plan ever so slightly on our arrival, back to the original plans I think, although I'm sure Doc will put it in the live chat for us all to see, those of us flying along behind. Christopher, welcome, good afternoon. Avsim says do Air Moldova Stansted to Chisinau. Yo, mid some madness. Could piss off the Birmingham controllers with a Boeing 727 non-RNAV flight. I'm very excited about Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 to be fair, Christos. Ergy, welcome. Yeah, looking forward to MSFS 2024, I think. It is still hard to work out, isn't it, precisely how you feel? Because you don't really know what to expect, certainly on the airliner side of things, but yeah, really exciting times I think for the MSFS franchise. I would imagine they're going to start to go back into a tempo of releases, so I think we could probably look at MSFS 2024 followed by MSFS 2028. Christine Bouchard, welcome to you. Christos asking, but what will happen with PMDG? They'll just update all their products to work in MSFS 2024. No stress. Certainly these big, well-established development houses, we can rely on them. We can trust them. Doc saying there, remove waypoint SOTEX, replace it with ALAGU and the ALAGU 7 Alpha. There you go. No you don't, Christopher, but let me just check. No, yeah, you're all good. It's still registered that as an entry. I didn't see the explanation actually, Ian. They did talk about it at FS Expo, didn't they? Into a little bit more of detail about giving developers more time to kind of prepare to shift across to the new sim, things like that. ALAGU 7 Alpha by Gebti ILS 28 Zulu. Runway 28. Josh says, what's my thoughts on P3D? Not really that fussed about P3D, to be honest. I don't think visually it'll ever be near to MSFS, but it is it's more of a training platform than a flight sim. But I've got no reason to shift away from Microsoft Flight Simulator, if I'm being totally honest. So I think I'm going to be looking more so at, who's that? Somebody right on us. Not them. think it was somebody going past us. Because I can see them. Yeah, it is. It's that contrail over there, look, zipping across the horizon. Very nice. Hopefully it will be coming soon, Sabres. Let's wait and see, I guess. Who knows? I think it was meant to kind of release about this time last year. Bill's Mafia says, what are your thoughts on the TFDI MD11? My honest thought, don't bother pre-ordering it. That's rolling the dice massively. I think for me the fact that they have reopened pre-orders again, based on the pre-orders last year opening up for 1,000, wasn't there? 1,000 copies pre-order. How much was it? It was like $40 US, wasn't it? So it's only about $5 difference between the pre-ordered version and the one that's going to be priced on release. It was something like that. But that would get them at $40 on the pre-order. I'm not sure exactly on the price, but TFDI would make $40,000 on just some crowdfunding. And now they've done it again. They've opened up for more pre-orders. I don't know. The fact they're doing it a second time round, it just raises a couple of alarms for me. Christopher's saying there that Sober made all the right noises at FS Expo, with multi-threading mentioned, a focus on simming and not gaming. That's good. That's very good to hear, actually. And some of the fixes were things I expected from MSFS 2020, but hey ho. $80 US, jeez. So yeah, they made $80,000 US on the last pre-order at 1,000 pieces. I don't know what they're doing again this time. I assume another 1,000. Yeah. For me, I would rather pay $85 for a product that is finally released. Because it still might be 2 years away. So what are you spending $80 on? In the meantime, you've got things like the PMDG 777 that's being worked on. You're going to have to pay for that at some point soon if you want to buy that. You've got the Aerosoft A330 coming out soon, the Fokker F28 as well. That's all these new aeroplanes that are being worked on in the near future, that are going to be slightly cheaper, potentially, than that. So I would rather put my money into one of those. But that's me being me. I don't know. As somebody once said, can't tell me how to spend my money. Order break 3 and both reverses for our arrival today. There's a tailwind landing. Crosswind is 6 knots, tailwind of 2 knots. On runway 28. Yeah. To be fair, actually, order break through and reverse idle makes no difference. So we'll use order break 3 and reverse idle. Saber says the first beta for the MD11 is supposed to release in July. I don't buy it. I reckon it will be September. I don't know. Because the full price of it is going to be, it's going to be like $85, isn't it, or something like that? I can kind of see the need to have the pre-orders, the crowdfunding, and it is obviously a popular thing because people have just thrown cash at it. But I would rather wait for it to be released before I'm committing my hard-earned cash to a product. Night Shadow asking about Flight Sim Expo. Did anyone discuss any interesting hardware like new throttles, FCUs? Yeah, Honeycomb I think blew everybody's mind. Honeycomb Aeronautical with their new screens. They're bringing out kind of like these 2 glass cockpit screens that attach onto the Honeycomb Alpha, and it looks incredible. Really, really good. those of you in the UK at the moment, actually, as well, I put it in Discord earlier on. But yes, Brian, you beat me to it. Unbelievable. I was going to build that up and everything. Yeah. At Curry's at the moment, for those of you in the UK, if you go via Top Cashback, you'll get 1% off. You get 1% cashback as well. But Honeycomb, Alpha, and Bravo have got about £100 off at the moment with Curry's in the UK, which is insane. Here's my query though, to those of you. So you guys get to choose. I'm probably going to spend a little bit of money on them to upgrade from my Turtle Beach, which I do really like, but there's something about Honeycomb, Alpha and Bravos that just really suck me in. Do I wait for the Alpha Pro that they were announcing at FS Expo, or do I just go for the current Alpha? The Honeycomb Bravo at the moment is £149 at Curry's, down from 250 quid, £100 off. Blind Panda, I wouldn't want both. Mark Love Tech says get the Bravo, but then get the Thrustmaster TCA Boeing yoke. Australian Aviation has said the same thing there. Yeah, I don't think they're going to bring out a new Bravo anytime soon, are they? Doesn't seem that way. They certainly didn't announce anything at FS Expo, but they spoke about rehashing. It was the Alpha XPS, I think, wasn't it? They've basically shelved that, or canned it, and then they've bought out a new version of the Alpha called the Alpha Pro that's releasing in the next few months. I think they said September, didn't they? It's going to have like a button. Each button will have really precise control, so depending on how firm you press it, depends on what it might activate and things like that. They spoke about like 1080 resolution as if it was kind of like a 1080p. In my mind, it then said to me in a way to compare it against the screen resolution type things. The Alpha Pro would kind of be like 4K quality, when the normal Alpha it would be like 1080p. But otherwise I think they're the same product, right? Grelio, welcome to you. Thanks for subscribing. Yeah, don't know. Don't know if I want the things. If I get the Bravo now, it would kind of sit in the box out of the way until the Alpha Pro releases. But like Brian's saying there, the 100 off is a bargain, and I don't know if there's much difference between the Alpha and the Alpha Pro that could justify. I think it's going to come out at 250 quid. Have a good one, Josh. Seven programmable buttons, 4 navigational axes, 2 turn knobs. Naturally as well, good reviews. It's actually, so if you're looking at buying things like that, then the two together, the Alpha and the Bravo at Curry's in the UK, are cheaper than the Turtle Beach Velocity 1 at Curry's. because that's on sale for £345 as a kind of one big pack. But this would only be £300 for the two. Australian Aviation saying there, apparently they're putting a flat detents kit straight out the box into the Honeycomb Bravo throttle. How do you mean? They mentioned that on the expo, but I can't remember what it was that was that they were saying, because I was just exhausted watching it. But yeah, they spoke about they're creating detents for the Bravo throttle, but are they going to throw it into the boxes for future purchases? But also, if so, then how would you know if you're getting them included or not? Liam had to send his TCA yoke to Thrustmaster for repairs. Getting it sent out sounds like he was unlucky. His axis sensor was off, and now it's working again. That's good to know. Yeah, I always thought they were an extra pack, the detents. I thought they said that they were pricing it about, was it $30 or $60 or something for those. David says you could use your Bravo with your current yoke. I suppose I could actually. I could just detach the throttle element, couldn't I? And just use the Turtle Beach yoke instead. But then I think that the feel of a Bravo throttle would then make me feel like I'm missing out on the Alpha, because I'm just touching this plastic the plastic Turtle Beach yoke. But I think they do kind of set the standard, don't they, at the minute? Honeycomb. Kilo Sierra saying he's tempted to get the Thrustmaster TCA yoke pack, maybe when I'm bored of flying Airbus. I mean, you could go wild and go for the Honeycomb Alpha at £100 off if you're in the UK, because that's pretty good. Dirty too. How do you? I mean, those of you with the Bravo throttle, how did you find setting it all up with throttle calibrations and you know, the reverse axis and things like that as well? Do they work as kind of buttons, or are they recognised as reverse axes on the throttle in the various aeroplanes in the sim? Oh, a little bit of me dies inside. I just added it to basket, the Bravo, and Curry's immediately said, "You might also like a £10 Roblox gift card." No thanks. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it would be a mistake to buy an Alpha now, knowing the Alpha Pro is coming out. I don't know. I think, as Andrew's saying there, it might be worth waiting for the Pro. We better get this sorted now, because we've only got a couple of waypoints left. So we've got to change it now to ALAGU 7 Alpha via GEBT. So we're going to delete the SOTEX waypoint. We now need to add ALAGU. Make sure we spell it right. Alpha Lima Alpha Golf Uniform. Input. Departure arrivals Faro ILS 28. We want the Zulu. There we go. ILS Zulu 28 via GEBT, and we want the ALAGU 7 Alpha arrival there. So we'll execute that. We'll go to the legs page, and then it follows on from ALAGU Genro Foxtrot Romeo 607 and so on. Let's look at the charts, because it does change what we are going to be planning. So therefore we need to kind of tweak some of this. We were planning ILS runway 10, weren't we? Crosswind at 9 knots, VFR conditions. Now we're going to switch this to runway 28. It's going to give us a warning. Navigraph's pretty good now at that sort of thing. It says what we've already selected isn't compatible, so we now need to choose a new arrival. ALAGU 7 Alpha, and approach ILS Zulu runway 28 via Gebti. There we go. So the green is the star, the orange is the approach. So flying in via SOTEX, although we've now deleted SOTEX, haven't we? So we're going to go from ABUPI direct to ALAGU. So straight line from there all the way to there, which I think we can't do anything about unless, yes, here we go. Delete that at the top, hit done, doink. Love it. New Navigraph charts are just fantastic. So yeah, we're going to go direct to like that now anyway, so we've actually shaved a few more miles off. Straight to ALAGU, into the star. I haven't flown with Jet 2 before, but I've never heard anything bad about it. I've always heard good things. Through to Genro, Foxtrot Romeo 607, so the star's going to look like this. So via ALAGU, descending down on 181 degrees, we're bearing down to Genro 607 and then Gebti at point 1, which is there, just after Genro. We have to be, according to this little inset, 4,000 feet. ALAGU 7 Alpha. And then we've got the approach. So from Gebti transition, we want to be at Gebti at 3,000. Let's have a look at our MCDU. Genro, Foxtrot Romeo 607. There's already an issue there, look. That has us higher than we need to be. Gebti at 3,000. And then initial approach at 2. So I'm going to change this to 3 to see what it does to the one before. 4279. That is Foxtrot Romeo 607, which is there. But at ALAGU 7 Alpha, we want to be at 4,000 feet. Yeah, a lot of the time, X-Ray Yankee Zulu, Mark Lewis Tech there saying, a lot of it will depend on perhaps the missed approach path, the climb gradient, that sort of thing. If in doubt, use Zulu. If you're flying into an airport with an ILS X-Ray, ILS Yankee and an ILS Zulu, if you're not sure, go for Zulu. If you're flying in on VATSIM, you might have in the ATHAS expect ILS Yankee, runway 28 approach or something, so then you know to prepare for that one instead. But yeah, the most often change will be something to do with the transition into the approach or the missed approach procedure itself, kind of making them all a little bit different. Genro, flight level 60. I'm going to suggest flight level 5,500, I think. 4255 there. Let's pop in the descent forecast anyway. Let's put into the live chat the METAR for Faro, LPFR. We've also got to think about where we're going to vacate. So we think really far ahead. QNH is the same as standard. Lovely. QNH1013. Transition level 50. We've already got that set, and we can load the wind data. Christos saying, did you see my question concerning the low GPU? Fire your question into the live chat. That looks good, we'll have that. We set up for that. Ryan says he flew to Faro with Jet 2 last September, returning with Ryanair. I flew with TUI both ways last 2 weeks. Jet 2 and TUI were good. Ryanair was sitting on a church seat. Oh. Christos says, every time I start Microsoft Flight Simulator I get the message too low GPU. What GPU have you got? It might be below the minimum recommended spec, so then it tells you basically you can't run MSFS perhaps. Level 55. How many miles between Foxtrot Romeo 607 and Gebty? Let's find out. 7 miles. So I want to be at 3,500 there, roughly. And then we're going to clear that discontinuity there. That'll do. 6.8 and then 4.3, 1.9. Interesting. Yeah. So descent page, that's all done. Forecast page is done. We are looking at, we've still got a little way to go. We need the airport elevation on the charts. There it is, big box, airport elevation 24. Nearest one there is 0. We'll just put 0 in. Doc said there's a speed restriction that's not in the FMC. Ooh, let's have a look. No, so the hold at Gebty is max 230 knots. And that's the speed constraints for the hold at Genro. It says max at the top. Oh, max 280 between 245 and 100. Max 250 at or below 100. Max 220 at or below 70. Okay. So let's see how that's going to affect us. In the descent page, descent target speed's only 250 knots anyway, to be fair, or max 77, max decimal 77, so that'll be fine. Speed restriction 240 below flight level 100, so that gives us a little margin there, and then max 220 at or below 70. So Genro max 220. Gebty 220. Or it's actually 3,000 there, so we're going to be max 200. 200 or below. And then we've got some of the varying speeds there as well for us to think about. .220 at or below flight level 70. Which also impacts Genro then as well. There we go. So we've added in a whole load of manual speed constraints as well. While we're here, in fact, I'm going to do a fixed ring. So on the runway, what have we got? 60 emit 2000. So we'll do 6 and then 4. That'll do. Runway 28 now. 6 and 4, that'll do. Minimums for Cat 2 ILS. It's going to be 100 on the rad out. I might set that one, but we'll we might just hand fly the last 1,000 feet again. So perhaps I'll just do this one, 218. When we land, runway 28. It's a shortish runway, 2,490 meters. So it's not too dissimilar to the length that we had at Leeds, to be fair. Touching down around this kind of intersection of Romeo Delta, that's where I roughly expect the entry point now in Romeo Delta to have the touchdown aiming point, perhaps the touchdown zone starting there. So wheels down and wait on wheels around that little junction, and then auto brake 3, idle reverse, to slow the aeroplane down, we're probably going to vacate at Romeo Golf, that high speed exit there. So we can vacate that up to about 50 knots, and then we'll bring the speed right off before the turn. Nice slow turn on right on Papa to then head towards the gates. I'm going to go into the charts for Faro. I'm going to open up the parking stand coordinates, so I'm going to pin that as well, so when we land we know where we can go to taxi in. And we're expecting stand 318 in fact at the terminal, so planning where we're going to go after touchdown as well as how we're going to get down. Thinking well ahead. So we've had a look at the approach, the star. Clearance limit is GEBT, so without, if we had ATC online and they were clearing us up to GEBT, we would have to then enter the hold without, unless we had permission to proceed beyond that point. Let's get the other bits put in. So we had Faro 218. Standard pressure 1013. Still got quite a few miles left, look, 320. Jeez, long time. Back it up to Mach 80. Shots off, Atlanta off. And here is the Spanish coast. It's actually a better view over this side actually, I think, because it does extend out. Charles Marsh says I got Nvidia, so just used their software to upgrade the graphics drivers. Just thought of another stream that we might be able to do. Providing something else gets sent to me for a purpose of a preview, we might do a flight somewhere else out of Stansted, and that's how we might fit it all into one big go. Yeah, interestingly, some people say that the studio drivers for Nvidia's GeForce Experience are better than the game driver for MSFS. I've gone back to the game ready driver though, personally. Right, there's a poll in the live chat, so you guys get to help me decide about that deal on the honeycomb. And there's the giveaway question in the live chat as well, if you're just tuning in, looking to enter that giveaway. Which resort region of Portugal is served by Faro Airport? Brian can't see the poll. Well, we've got a couple of votes already. It might just take a little while, Brian, to kind of tick into everybody's screens and things. Great views below. See what it looks like on the outside, shall we? Well, look at that chrome. Just going to reset the drone camera there. That reflection on the chrome is fantastic. Krazer, I do. And they're all brilliant. Not had an outside view for a little while now, have we? I'll leave the poll open for a little while as well, see what you guys think. Get your thoughts, because it's £100 off at the moment at Curry's, so you can get both for 300 quid. Chris was asking about the airport that we're just flying over at the moment. That is Asturias Airport, LEAS in MSFS. There is some payware scenery for that, I believe, as well. Alex flying along. Oh, he's off to Madeira. I was going to say he's on a different route. I can see Liam. He's flying along Osprey 94 Hotel out of LFRS. I'm scanning for Hergy. We've got someone at Stansted as well, Ryanair 144. Oh, Dusty, that is a disaster. Now you have to have 4 ginger nuts because of to make up for the one you've lost. But David, I've got my next level racing seat, haven't I? And it comes with a whole load of other adapters. So the ones I've got at the moment connected are for specifically bespoke adapters for the next level racing Boeing seat for the Turtle Beach Velocity 1 flight. But I can take them off, take the adapter off, and then I can go and put the adapters on for the Honeycomb Bravo, which are in the box still. Lovely views. Get up to date with those 2 screenshots. A lot of weather over the coast of Portugal at the moment, to the west of Porto, stretching all the way down to Lisbon in fact, but certainly worse towards the border of Portugal and Spain on the north side. Brian, cheers buddy. Yeah, but the thing that annoys me, Joey Goofy, is the Honeycomb Charlie is in pre-order only for people in the US. Dirty Jew says his Turtle Beach rudders are excellent. Aussie Aviation saying Honeycomb are coming out with so many new products. Yeah, they had a whole host of announcements to make at FS Expo, didn't they? A flight stick, throttle detents for the Bravo, a chair, flight sim USB hub at $60 though, that's quite an expensive USB hub. New screens and the new Alpha Pro, yeah, absolutely. I think they said that the Charlie was at least September to October, didn't they? Or was that the Honeycomb Alpha Pro? I forget. They definitely said there's something coming out nearer to September, October time. Yeah, otherwise, basically months away. It was the Alpha Pro, which isn't too far away, is it, when you think about it? But I think the MSRP or something was a whole load of, was it $289? The Alpha Pro? Or was it $350? I can't remember the price that they announced at FS Expo for it now. The Alpha Pro, that's due in the next 3 months. Yeah, I'm not expecting the Charlies this year at all, to be fair. They were meant to come out last year, I think, weren't they? I have emailed them, Charles, actually. I've said I'm interested in upgrading and changing my hardware. What they said was that they don't have scope for any new content creators. But I said in my head at the time, I was like, I actually don't know of any that are sponsored by them. Everyone seems to be sponsored by Thrustmaster. I mean, naturally, I was hoping to be sponsored by Turtle Beach, wasn't I? This time last year, I think, but they decided otherwise. And I've always wanted a honeycomb kit. Alex, welcome. Is the Thrustmaster T16000 good for beginner pilots, and what setup do I use? The stream is amazing. Great to hear. I've got a Turtle Beach Velocity 1 flight yoke. Comes with a throttle as well. It is really, really good. It's expensive at 350 or so pounds. It's quite pricey, but it is pretty good, I think. Oh yeah, 12 minutes ago, the Aerosoft A330 Microsoft Flight Simulator official teaser. Shall we watch it while we're live? Let me get a window-in-window thingy going on. Let me bring it up. We've got some time, haven't we? Let's take a look and analyse live. Where is it? Here we are. Whoa. Right, let's see what we can do. Edge. Is it that button? Just needs a little refresh. Alrighty. Let's bring that screen up, shall we? To about there. That'll do, won't it? You guys ready? Where's the volume? Let's turn this right up. I'm excited. Okay, let's go. It's in 4K. Obviously it's going to stream out to you guys in 2K via the stream, but enjoy. Hopefully I don't get a copyright strike for the music. What's that all? Ooh. That flight deck looks insane. That does look good, doesn't it? My goodness. The gear struts as well. In fact, look at the brakes. Just there. Whew. This is going to be great when this comes out, isn't it? Just get a good feeling about it. Look at that paint scheme for that Virgin Atlantic aircraft. Lufthansa, Swiss, Turkish, Air Canada, TAP. That's the Turkish again. Eurowings, Scandinavian. Lots of options. If these are all included, that's going to be fantastic as well. It's the A330-300. CEO, David. Rolls Royce. Oh. Very exciting. There we are. It's a very short teaser, very short and sweet. That does look very good though. I'm excited for that. Punchy little teaser, just to whet the appetite. I mean, they've been working on it now for quite some time, haven't they? The A330. So we're looking at a couple of years of development into what looks like a good aeroplane. David saying, but Aerosoft again. VATSIM, I think the A330neo is going to be a contracted aircraft to MSFS 2024, but I don't know. That's pure guess. That's my feeling anyway. But yeah, we'll see how good it is when it actually arrives. Still in beta, of course. Hopefully, when it does arrive, I'll be able to give you guys some good previews with it as well. We'll run through various features and things. ABUPI, 5.1 tons of fuel. We should have 4.6 at ABUPI. The EFP looks fantastic as well, actually. In fact, it looks like Aerosoft have done a really good job on that EFP. But one of those things you'd have to have a really good explorer and a click about with it, wouldn't you, to kind of work that out for a little while. How's that? But there's the poll, 52 votes. Should I buy a Honeycomb Bravo and wait for the Alpha Pro, or also buy an Alpha now at the discounted price? 61% of you said buy the Bravo and wait for the Alpha Pro. I think it'll be the higher end cooking cooker, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if it was around 50 to 60 quid. But yeah, the CRJ hasn't had an update in at least a year, I don't think, David, has it? I know Aerosoft have had a bit of a wobbly patch at the moment, though. They lost one of the, I think one of the what do you call it? One of the CEOs, one of the leaders. A little while ago passed away. It kind of rocked the company from what I understand. And they've been, I think, trying to kind of get back since. What happened to the quality Wing 787? Your guess is as good as mine. What quality Wing 787? Thirsty2 there saying quality wings he thinks is long dead. Yeah, I do share the same thoughts. I reckon they've all fizzled out and then they've gone off to go and develop for different companies. Dan saying there, Jorg did promise a bunch of airliners in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 coming with the game. It'll be interesting to see what level they come into the sim app. I think I would imagine they're going to purchase things like the A310. I think that part of the contract there will be to move across into the new sim, perhaps at the time of release. Hey, guess what? I've just ordered a Bravo. £100 off at Curry's. 149 quid. For a Honeycomb Bravo. That's cheaper than anywhere else online. Obviously it's only helpful if you're in the UK, but... it's on the way. And then I'll wait for the Alpha Pro. David saying there that everyone says that the Avionics and Aircraft Update 2 stuff that Working Title have done for the 747 and the Dash 8 are amazing. Perhaps that'll be the next flight we do. We'll just have to take a 787 or a 747 cargo, perhaps out of Stansted with the INI builds. Stansted Airport scenery, perhaps. Failing that, get to take the new plane out for a spin when if and when it arrives. Yeah, 1 hour, 1 hour for the Turtle Beach. I think that's the thing. I really enjoy it. I really like the Turtle Beach Velocity 1. I think it's a great all-rounder, mid-range product. But there's something about Honeycomb that just feels more premium, seems more premium when it's roughly the same price. Liam saying you manually enter the whole flight plan in AAU2. No SimBrief integration at all then. I know the ATR now has SimBrief integration actually, which is really exciting for an update. Cook saying good real world 747 flight. It's not too crazy. It's Frankfurt to Parma. Let's set auto brake 3 ready. One of our last little things on our before descent checks. Charles says, what is the other yoke that they had at Expo with force feedback? I'm not sure, to be honest. Living on a pilot. Living on a player. What have you sent me? Just trying to help you spend a little bit more now that you've ordered the Bravo. Prodesksim.com. I feel like I'm going to go down a rabbit hole. Oof. Ooh, bespoke 737 things. An ATR pack. Crikey. DC3 set, that looks really quirky, doesn't it? 737 functional add-on for Turtle Beach Velocity 1. Oh, I didn't know about that. A319 2021 add-on for the Honeycomb Bravo. Christ. Where are they based? So shipping, I don't know where it works. Oh, California. Oof. I assume that's going to be very expensive on shipping then, isn't it? Nox Gaming says self-loading cargo just released a new dev video. Version 1.6 release end of June or early July. Ian says they have heaps. If you know anyone with a 3D printer, they can do very similar for you. I suppose that's all it is, isn't it? Bill's Matthew says, when do you think the Aerosoft A330 is going to come out? Maybe August? If I was to throw a guess out? I don't know. I don't know. Charles says SimSonic. SimSonic force feedback yoke. I think I missed that part of FS Expo, to be honest. Liam, they did that before, but it's because the fly-by-wire experimental branch kind of became a little bit redundant, so they then kind of canned that, archived it, and just focused on the dev branch instead. If it gets to the point in the future where there is a substantial difference again, or maybe a load of experimenting that needs to happen, they might reopen the experimental branch again, but like you said, they might be throwing a few more resources into the A380 perhaps. Yeah, that's too much money for a yoke, isn't it? Who needs to spend $1,100 on a force feedback yoke for flight sim? I think unless you're going to be building an actual flight deck, you don't really need to. In my opinion, that's a lot of money, isn't it? It's almost a cheap holiday. I hope so, Liam. That'd be great. That'd be perfect timing. If not, there's going to be a whole load of A330s flying. And to be fair, I mean, I haven't tried the 747-8 or the 787-10 post AAU2, but do you guys think that it would be VATSIM ready? David said he liked the trailer for Beyond ATC. $80 miles. John saying yes, the 748 is really good. So can it do automated holds? Can you chop and change your arrival? So if you're flying in and you've got a star set up and they change you to a different star and they change the runway, can you do that reliably now as well? I haven't looked at either yet, so I'm quite interested in hearing your thoughts with that. Alex, I don't know actually. Someone in the live chat will know the answer to that though. Who released? Was it iFlight X? 737 Max 8. LNAV, VNAV are perfect, and yep and yep to both. John says there. Fantastic. Yeah, Liam. Again, we don't really know, do we? I think they're going to blow our mind. I reckon it'll be maybe 70 to 80 US dollars. That's my guess. Dirty too, they'd have to extend the event. Hergy says the 787 seems pretty good, small bugs, but works nice, and that's what he's flying today, catching up. Where did you depart from in the end, Hergy, in fact? There's the Portuguese coast up there, so Porto, in fact, is kind of below the wingtip over there somewhere. They've got tower online. Lisbon is over there on the horizon. We won't be flying near there though. Bordeaux, very nice. Hopefully you're bringing some wine with me. Yeah, absolutely, Neil. And it makes it more accessible, doesn't it? John saying I'll pay whatever PMDG wants. They are pretty good, aren't they? I was watching, I think somebody uploaded a video of the chat that Robert Randazzo had at the captain's dinner at FS Expo. He was telling some absolutely wild story about flying, was it the DC-3 over to Narsarsuaq. Ian, it's the 5th of August and the 6th of August as well, actually, to be fair. Midsummer Madness, the big Birmingham VATSIM event again at the Mako Birmingham, Mako Simulations Birmingham, Echo Golf Bravo Bravo. Do you mean, Liam, do you mean Cross the Pond 2024? I think it'll be at least a year away. Cooking. By a long margin, the PMDG 737s for me. They really stand out. Alex, no, there is a PMDG 737 MAX coming out in the future. Not in the immediate future. Maybe in the next, perhaps maybe next year at some point. But they have said that they are going to be releasing, it was the 777 first, I think, and then they have, then they said that they were going to then work on the 737 MAX with the 747 working in the background. and then so after the max they'll then bring out the 747. Yeah, perhaps that'll be the strategy, Liam. I mean, that's a good target to focus on, isn't it? Build it and get it ready for MSFS 2024. Yeah, I'm certainly not expecting the A380 anytime soon. It'd be great fun when it does arrive. Marvellous aeroplane. Hopefully they do it proud. I'm sure they will. Yeah, Quasar, the Birmingham is good, but it's it feels like it's kind of been abandoned a little bit, which is a shame. Right, before top of descent, we've got to do a few things. We're going to pull the weather, and we're also just going to, in case you're tuning in as well, wondering what we're about to do, we're going to review the charts and make sure we are briefed and we're happy that we know what we're doing for the arrival. So we're going to be coming in via ALAGU, 181 degrees down to Genro. Descending down to Genro, we're going to be about 5,000 feet at Genro, roughly around transition altitude in fact as well. Because of that, we've got a couple of speed restrictions to adhere to, so between flight level 245 and 100, max 280 knots, at or below 100, max 250 knots, at or below flight level 70, max 220 knots, and then at or below 4,000 feet, maximum 200 knots. I haven't tried this T16000M. Quite Thrustmaster, no, Alex. From Genro, passing down through 4,000 and 3,000 feet, going between Foxtrot Romeo 607 and then the initial approach fix at Gebti. We'll aim to be at 3,000 feet roughly there. Slowing the aeroplane to about 180 knots, extending our flaps as required, and at Gebti we're 14 DME to touchdown. 274 degrees to 9 DME, and then inbound 282 degrees for the ILS approach. We need to tune the frequencies for that. So 40 miles to top of descent. Down in the multi-mode radio panels, we're going to go 1095 for the ILS frequency for runway 28, and we're going to tune the Faro VOR 1128, 1128. We'll leave the VOR active. 1095. We're going to have a little look to see if there's anything else. There isn't, so we'll use 1128 as well. I'll leave nav 2 set to the ILS frequency. We're ready. Course 1 and 2. 282. And then what do we got? 9 DME, which is there. Level at 2,000. 6 DME, beginning then the glide slowed down. 4 miles, we're going to be at 1,355 feet roughly, thereabouts. And not long after that, turning the autopilot off and flying her in. A slight crosswind expected though. Let's pull the METAR back in to the live chat for you guys watching. And on the left, I'll open the tab. So we've got a 7 knot crosswind and a 3 knot headwind for runway 28 to contend with. 210 at 8 knots, cab OK, 26 degrees, dew point 21 degrees, QNH 1013 still. For the missed approach, if we do go around for any reason, we're going to climb straight ahead, 282 degrees track to 3,000 feet. When passing 2,000 feet, turn left to Gimel, holding and contact Faro approach, which is there. 15 miles on a 187 radial outbound from the Faro VOR. And we'll hold there. On Unicom though, we're likely to conduct a missed approach. We might have to hold if lots of traffic flying in, or we would just self-vector ourselves downwind and vector ourselves back to have another go. After landing, order brake 3, reverse idle, that's the plan. We're going to aim to vacate at Romeo Golf, this high-speed exit, bringing the speed down through 50 knots as we exit, and then dropping the speed right down, so continuing to brake on the high-speed exit down to this little choke point here. Speed will be no more than kind of 10 knots there, and then turning right on Papa, down to Alpha. Whoa, in fact we'll do Papa up Bravo and then straight into park at the main terminal. Yeah, that works out quite nicely actually. So Papa, Bravo, and then into 318. Easy peasy. So we've briefed for everything. Cooking Cook saying, what would you recommend the next level racing Boeing chair? Is it fun? Absolutely is. Yeah, really good fun. You have to climb in and out of it. It's just a little frustrating. Unreal. You've got to climb in and out of the flight deck, basically. That's how the seat kind of works. Top of descent coming up, so we're going to do quick master caution checks. We've already done some fuel checks, set the pressure panel. Everything else is good. And we're going to drop this down. We'll set 3000. We'll aim for a continuous descent all the way down. We have a new option, next level racing, 2 parts instead of 1. Yeah, I've not really looked into that too much actually, to be honest. It's a little bit more of an affordable version, isn't it, as well, and not so heavy. This next level racing Boeing seat is lovely, but it's quite heavy. I think it took me about 3 hours to build, roughly. Great fun building it though. Right, Cooking Cook, aka Behind the Skies, is still doing it. Unbelievable. Guy never learns. I try and tolerate it. I just can't. Hello Adam, welcome. AVSIM is going to be flying in real life from Leeds in 3 weeks. Where are you going to? And what are you flying on? LNAV VNAV, let's go back to speed intervention mode. So we're going to bring the speed down now to 250-ish knots. Max 77 for descent, and the nose is going to come down, VNAV path. And we're into descent now. Wonder if we've got any more cabin announcements. I don't think we do. Oh, we got landing. Yeah, we got landing, but all the other ones are American. Magic might be flying from Luton in 8 days. When will you find out if you are? Or you'll be just told, pack your bag, we're going. Dog Trench, welcome. Jeff saying, recovering from FS Expo, such an amazing experience, hoping you can make it next time. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely going to be trying to go next year. I'm hoping it will be somewhere else, like Canada. I can then kind of scratch 2 itches at once then. ChristosLukeAirTool.net for the cabin announcements. Yeah, I hope next year will be somewhere like Canada. It was discussed, I know, a little bit. I think there was a moment during an inter-break, like a little interval or a break, where they said it would be quite cool for it to be in Canada. I think Evans was on stage when he said that Canada would be great as well. He goes, "Trust me, I'd love it to be Canada," or some words to that effect, I think, from memory. I don't see why it couldn't be in Canada. It's not like they'd be upheaving it and flying everybody to, I don't know. Oh yeah, FS Expo this year is going to be in Tokyo or something like that. It would be just as accessible as Houston. I mean, probably more so, in fact, if it was somewhere like Toronto or Vancouver. But Houston this year looked fantastic. Really, really good. So who knows? We'll have to wait and see. My vote would be somewhere in Canada. Just make it a bit different, shake it up a little bit, increase the excitement. But I am hoping I can go next year. I'll have to save up for it. Houston in June is rough. It did sound incredibly hot for you guys, but the Lone Star Museum looked like a spectacular location for the event this year as well, to be fair, as David's saying there. I saw some of the photographs. It just looked incredible. Absolutely incredible. Drag required. Well, not really, we're okay still. We're still on the path. We're just a little bit loose on the speed. TC, welcome. That would be cool, Doc. I did joke, I said, how about Foxborough? Maybe we could fill it up. Jeff said we were able to meet Robert from PMDG, really nice guy. Yeah, David did as well, actually. Thanks for saying hello for me, David, in fact. Didn't have to, of course. Really appreciated it, though. Ooh, possibly, Dan. Who knows? It depends on the phase of the beta, though, because it may not have sounds yet. Who knows? Could be. Michael, thanks for being with us. 4 months now, Silver Frequent Flyer. There we go. So the giveaway will stay open until we get on stand, engines off, then we'll draw those 2 winners to find out who's won the new RDPresets Faro Airport scenery. We've got 2 of those to give away today. If you end up seeing it when we do get there and we explore it for a couple of minutes, yeah, Dan, it definitely is. When we get to Faro, get back on track. Yeah, we get to Faro and have a little look around. You guys might want to get your hands on it. It is also available via Contrail. You just got to go to contrail.shop/LPFR, the ICAO code for Faro. And that'll bring up the product page for it just to buy direct. David said you were able to take rides at different aircraft if you wanted. There were tours of Houston ATC and NASA. It was fantastic. It does sound like one heck of an event, an incredible event, in fact. Lenny, there's videos online, I think. A lot of people have got the Boeing TCA, or the Airbus TCA pack, sorry, but use it with the Boeing, and vice versa, in fact, so it can be done. Jeff said, Dan stopped by the Aerosoft booth but didn't see the A330 there. Interesting. Oh, that's a good question actually. For those of you who went to FS Expo, so David, Jeff and anyone else, David Bartley asking in the chat there, it's a great question actually. Did you get your hands on the Thrustmaster Boeing yoke and the Alpha, and how do they compare? Yeah, Doc, this is Jet 2 Holidays, buddy. Oop, upside down Jet 2 Holidays. I haven't been drinking yet, promised. But yeah, it's very Allegiant as well, isn't it? It's a bit confusing. Either way, very nice. Jeff says he tried the Thrustmaster Boeing yoke and the Honeycomb Alpha, and Jeff said there that for him the Thrustmaster Boeing is a clear winner. It is, Harry, I've just purchased one. David, by contrast, though, didn't. He said he's very happy with the Alpha. Yeah, the Honeycomb Alpha as well, Harry, is available at Currys with £100 off. So they're both £149 at the minute, which is an incredible price. So you get both for 300 quid from Currys. But if you use Top Cashback, you'll get 1% off as well, or like, you know, like cashback websites, that sort of thing. So you just get a little bit more of a saving, perhaps. Borrow Towers Online, Jack says. Well, hey, Tiago, thank you very much, buddy. If you're watching, 12075. We get that pre-tuned ready. Have a good one, Jeff. Living on a Player says he loves the pendular system with the Thrustmaster. He doesn't fly GA aircraft, so the pendular system gives that sense of immersion. I mean, the Boeing yoke is still a crazy amount of money. Overclockers though, 289 quid for that. By contrast, oh, that's for both, isn't it? That's the throttle as well. 270 something quid. So I think that's come down in price a little bit, hasn't it? Flight Store, you can get Thrustmaster TCA Boeing yoke and throttle pack for £340. Living on a player, do you mean the Thrustmaster pendular system? As in the pendulum rudders? Or do you mean something else entirely? Do you mean the actual way the yoke feels and works? Tom, watch last week's stream. We did a special live preview of Melbourne. The only channel to have done it. Really, really honoured to be asked by Orbex to do that. David saying the Boeing yoke is a pendulum as well as their posh pedals. So what makes that better than, say, what Honeycomb have done with theirs? I don't really, layman's terms, to like someone like myself who doesn't quite understand the difference between the two. How would you explain it? Ooh, Doc, some aviation news. Delta 1092 landed in Charlotte this morning. Nose gear up. Where was it flying from? What aircraft was it? David there going big for helicopter stuff. Says the high-end flight controls for aeroplanes and helicopters are amazing and very realistic. I'm going to buy a stick and a collective, just don't know which one yet. Very pricey stuff, yeah. Certainly the heli stuff in Flight Sim is very expensive, isn't it? Doc says it's a Boeing 717. I didn't realise Delta was still flying those. My god, they're so old. Living on a player there saying that, so the Boeing Thrustmaster says simulates the same feel that you'd have in the actual aircraft. The 737, for example, the yoke is attached to the floor. Yeah, so is in like that. Yeah, how does that then correlate to the feel in the sim? That sounds reasonable, David. Let's pop some spoilers out. Help get back on that speed target a bit more. The coast down there, 22 years old. It's not too old for a 717 then, I suppose. 75. Some of the 757s are older. Still flying, and the 76s. Michael says he's ferrying a Cessna 182 on FS Econ back to Canada from Bern, enjoying his honeycomb. I've bought all the different attachments from Poe Desk Sim and I've had several yokes. Honeycomb seem the most versatile. Tom's asking about the Honeycomb Charlie pedals. I think they're going to be quite good, but yeah, there's no end in sight for when they're going to finally release. Probably some point next year, early next year. Yeah, it's kind of hard to work it out, to be fair, to see roughly where, what they're going to be like and all that sort of stuff. But they have said that they're looking at having the most realistic feel of rudder pedals. They want it to feel like rudder pedals in an airliner. as opposed to like, well, I've got this real cheap T-Flight Thrustmaster rudder kit, which adjusts springs, and they feel pretty crap. How many go-arounds did he have, Doc, or was it a touchdown but then the nose wheel collapsed? There's another question, I suppose. Did they go around a couple of times, do a little like overfly of the airfield to confirm that the nose wheel's stuck down? Stuck up rather. 2 go-arounds, yeah, so they definitely knew then. Yeah, you know what, sounds like they've done a really good job. Carlito, welcome! David says the Charlie pedals take up a bit of room but were really good with a very solid base. Through 10,000, landing lights on. Got seatbelt signs on. And we've got Faro ATHAS 1242. Go on, plane.
Faro Airport Radar Victor 1430V. Expect ILSG approach, runway in use 28, transition level 55. Wind 220 degrees 8 knots, variable between 180 and 250 degrees. Cav location 26, 2.20 QNH 1013. Acknowledge LPFR information, Victor.
Lovely. Just make sure we listen one more time, get the information.
Faro Airport Radar Victor 1430V. Expect ILSG approach, runway in use 28, transition level 55. Wind 220 degrees 8 knots, variable between 180 and 250 degrees. Cav location 26, 2.20 QNH 1013. Acknowledge LPFR information, Victor. Faro.
Get rid of that. 1228 currently, and then tower, we'll make sure we've got that tuned in because I was fiddling around. 120.750, so that's set and correct. VOR 1128, they're both set for the ILS predominantly. We've got inbound course 282 set and continuous descent to 3,000 feet. Michael says he owns the the Thrustmaster TPR pedals. Never look back. They are very pricey though, but fit well into the next level racing cockpit. Robin Douglas has got the Honeycomb Bravo together with the Cytec yoke and panels. He's also bought the Thrustmaster Airbus joystick when he flies Airbus. Where are my charts? Go to vertical speed. Keep that up. Down we go. Cloud, no, you haven't. Still in the live chat. 6,000. Transition level is flight level 55. We'll continue through it. Let's go to local pressure. Ooh, you know what we've not done? 144, flat 30. Yeah, that looks good. Well, actually, it's telling us to land flat 40. Okay, so flat 40 it is. Order break 3. What if I change that? Not gonna let me. Oof. Yeah, I need a butt kicker as well, actually. That has been on my list of things to get. I may have forgotten about it. Thanks, Swifty. Let's get that wound back up again. Lap 2. We're going to do speed down. That's good now for up to 5, flat 5 anyway. Hello Ian, welcome buddy. 4,000. 1 to go. Next Level Racing does it, I think, David. Like a seat pad, isn't it? Getting you ready for Hollybobs in Faro, Magic, that's why. Bring the range ring in. $3,500. We've got to bring our speed down now. Max 200 at below 4. Faro traffic, Janix 4 Papa is inbound Gebty 5 track miles to the ILS runway 28 information Victor, changing to tower on frequency 120.75. Faro traffic. Flat 5.
Faro traffic, Janix 3862 at 43 at 42,000 feet.
180.
Descending to 3,000 at speed 220 knots, expecting the ILS 28, inbound waypoint Foxtrot Romeo 607.
Right, 765.
Then Getty will be contacting 120.75.
12075. And spoilers armed. That's 5, that's all good. Pressure panels looking good, that's all set. Let's pop that on now. Happy. VNAV 2180.
Transavia for hotel, confirm heavy to copy.
Go ahead, Transavia for hotel.
Transavia for hotel,
Rocks. Hello. Sit on a washing machine for a butt kicker. That's another way of doing it.
Evura 1 Victor departure runway 28. After Evura, proceed to ELWAN.
Here we go.
Squawk 2271, initial climb flight level 60.
Hack on, I'm not sure, buddy.
Information Victor 1013, Evura 1 Victor departure runway 28. After Evura to L4, squawk 2271, initial climb 60, Transavia for hotel.
Transavia for hotel, feedback correct?
Uh, 282, ILS 1095, 1095.
Ready for taxi now, Transavia 70 Romeo.
Single channel.
Romeo taxi via Papa to Papa holding point 128.
282. Approach active. Down to 2000. Missed approach is going to take us to 3 anyway. Below the glide slope. Not long to go. There she is, first time RDPresets Faro Airport for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Lovely views, views of the coast flying in as well. We do flap 10? I think we can. Just about, yep. Faro traffic, good afternoon. Channex 4 Papa, Boeing 737-800, 9 DME with information Victor ILS runway 28.
Channex 4 Papa, good evening, Faro Tower, winds 220 degrees 8 knots, variable between 180 and 250 degrees, runway 28, clear to land.
Runway 28, clear to land, Channex 4 Papa. So, 160 till 4, gear down, flap 15. Glide slope. Yeah, a bit of a crosswind, about 7 knot crosswind for us at the moment, variable winds. Whoa. And whatever that was. Jeez.
Rosario for hotel, request start and push.
Crikey.
Rosario for hotel, push and start approved, setting east.
Face race, start and push approved, Rosario for hotel.
Faro Tower, good afternoon, Channex
Good.
3862, A321 information, Victor aboard
That
on the ILS 28.
is crazy.
Alright, 2 stations at the same time, someone go ahead.
Channex 3862 is
Driver's Liza.
on the ILS 28. Information
That's all
Victor
good, that's
is
all
aboard.
set, lights and signs.
Channex
Yep.
3862, Roger, Faro Tower, good evening. Continue approach runway 28.
Ding dong. I have to sit down, crew.
220 degrees 8 knots.
160,
Continue approach
137,
number 2, Channex 3862.
142, flat 40. Final stage.
Tower, easy, free freeze, type A320 Neo, stand 207.
Here we go.
Clearance to Lisbon via the
Maybe drop that off a little bit and we'll grab
departure.
one more screenshot.
Easy
Just because it's quite nice to see it.
Clearance standby number 1.
Maybe Rab, yeah, maybe. I thought I turned it back down.
Channex 251 on the frequency.
Auto thrust offs, it's my throttles.
1,000.
It's kind of lost it a little bit there. Let's get a bit more power in. Want to maintain that 142. Variable winds causing the issue here.
Hello, this is Channex 251.
Autopilot off, my controls.
2,000 feet, airspeed is 135.
Channex 251, good evening, Faro Tower. You are very close to the traffic in front of you. I will need you to perform a right-hand orbit and return to final approach.
Okay, sorry, just repeat that last transmission.
Channex 251, are you able to perform a right-hand orbit at present position, then joining final?
I assume we can do that, Channex 251.
I appreciate it, thanks.
5.
No worries.
Rosario 73 Romeo.
A little bit of sync there all of a sudden. Be proactive, power and pitch.
Say again to 010
Bit of multitasking.
Rosario 73 Romeo, hold short runway, report ready.
Approaching minimums.
Hold short the runway reports ready, Chantel 010 Romeo.
I'll work out if the ILS is all over the place or if it's the plane.
200. Minimum.
Probably me. Pilot fatigue. Little bit of a crosswind.
100. 50. 30. 20.
I will departure, 010 Romeo.
Oh,
10.
the wind.
Rosario 73 Romeo, Hazard, standby.
Jeez. Reverse.
Rosario 73
Green.
Romeo,
We'll use
traffic
full
on
reverse
3
now,
mile
just because
final,
it took us a
28,
little while on that. That was a
on short final,
crazy
runway
approach.
28,
Behind the traffic on short final line up and way on
70 knots, 360. My brakes. We'll release the reverse thrust. 46 knots. Matthew says, thermals, hello. MSFS actually does a pretty good job simulating them. Great fun. But yeah, no centerline points today. Got properly swept across. Right, so flaps up, spoilers retract.
Channex 3862.
And bringing that speed off like we said. to vacate nicely
Easy for
here.
coach message.
Looking away at junction quickly, landing lights off, runway turn off lights off, taxi lights
Did you make a
on,
call for
strobe and steady, down to steady for the post lights, and pro-peats off. Master caution, anti-ice, that's fine, we'll clear that. We know why that's there. So we turn the APU on.
Taxi via Delta to Papa, holding point, runway 28.
Look at
Delta Papa, holding point 28.
that. Just touchdown.
Channel 4 Papa, welcome to Faro. Taxi via Papa and Bravo, standard 316.
Papa, Bravo, stand 316, Channel 4 Papa, thanks very much. Papa, Bravo.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're surely halfway to enjoy your holiday.
263 is not bad, look. Got swept a little bit. We'll take it. We'll see what New Sky says.
Hello again, Channel 251 established ILS runway 28 Zulu.
Channel 251, thank you.
Hello William, welcome buddy. I'm very good, how are you?
Continue approach, runway 28. Wind check 220 degrees, 8 knots.
There's the new Jet 2 A321 Neo.
Transavia 73 Romeo, wind 220 degrees, 8 knots, variable between 180 and 250 degrees, runway
We'll stand 316, don't we?
Runway 28 clear to take off, thank you, Transavia 73 Romeo.
Our friendly team will take you into the
316.
Annex 3. Annex 3862.
Hey, this looks good.
To the runway.
Epic, William, that would be good fun. Look at this! RDPresets Faro.
Stand is 446.
Stand 446 Papa and Bravo for Annex 3862. Thank you.
Next to the Speedbird. Somebody's just departed. Up he goes. Transavia. Let's get rid of the control visualizer.
251, winds 220 degrees, 8 knots, variable between 180 and 250 degrees, runway 28, clear 2 length.
Clear for runway 28, Channel 251, thanks.
Easy 2, correction, easy 383, confirm ready to copy clearance.
I think so, MPS Gaming, yeah. There's an old rusty jet over in the corner there. Hey, yeah, you know what? That looks pretty good. We haven't parked yet, of course. Look at the ground textures. What do you guys think? Early thoughts, early thoughts.
An easy 33 British taxi.
Easy 383, confirm no need to push.
No need to push, we can go forward straight onto Papa.
Roger, Easy 383, after the traffic passing on Papa from high to left.
Oh yes, Christopher, we've got to do our lander as well. I have purchased it actually.
After the traffic has passed, taxi to the holding point, runway 28 on Papa.
Interesting, I think that's the EasyJet there saying that you can just go straight ahead.
Next to the Charlie Mike 6, Faro Tower West. Continue approach, runway 28, wind check 220 degrees, 8 knots.
It'd be great if this had a GSX profile available for it. There's ground textures there, look.
Ready to go.
Transavia 4 Hotel behind the traffic on short final line up wait behind.
Yeah, traffic on short final line of wait to wait behind.
Kraser, it's lukeairtool.net. Up here, and off.
Good afternoon, inbound runway 28.
The tower looks remarkably nice.
Last station calling call finally.
Here we go. Yeah, this of course you do have the Asobo Faro, which is included for free in the sim. One of the things you've got to bear in mind though is if you do purchase this from whichever store, either directly from RDPresets or via the link in the live stream description today, you will have to make sure you uninstall the Asobo Faro version first. Keep an eye on him, we'll inch towards it. Sounds like Liam's on final. Sam, yeah, we watched it about an hour ago during the stream. Some people up there watching us park.
49 Lima is with you at Cockpit at final for ILS runway 28.
Orange 49 Lima, it seems like there's a lot of traffic very close. He's still outside my airspace. Report final runway 28 to enable.
Roger, I will report when final. Orange 49 Lima.
Transavia for Hotel Leeds 220 degrees 8 knots. Variable between 180 and 250 degrees. Runway 28 cleared for takeoff.
28 cleared for takeoff. Transavia for Hotel. Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Jocks.
Easy correction. Chanex 251. Welcome to Faro.
Hey, collision lights.
Via Papa and Bravo stand 3.
These walked off in disgust.
Stand 4, 5,
Do we park okay? That's alright, it's just not the right spot because we don't have a GSX profile. Almost there.
Chanex 251.
Chanex 251, confirm stand 4.
Right, let me quickly zip across to the tower so we can watch a landing or something from here.
Yeah, correct.
Ooh, look, there's actually an interior. With people talking. And the Death Star in the background. William, can't wait for the A330. It's going to be exciting, isn't it? Let's get GSX fired up.
I'm not clear to launch, and it's 3 Charlie Mike.
Chanex 3 Charlie Mike, wind 220 degrees 8 knots, variable between 180 and 250.
Got one on short final.
Clear to launch, and it's 3 Charlie Mike.
Here he comes. Is this ABUPI?
Osprey 904 Hotel on final from me 2.
Osprey 904 Hotel, Roger, continue approach, runway 28, wind check 220 degrees 8 knots.
Little easy taxiing out as well.
Easy career.
Tower, good day, Osprey 7, Papa Romeo, established localizer 28, we are 9 months.
Easy 383, hold short runway 28, expect 2 arrivals ahead.
Here we go.
2 arrivals ahead for easy career for you,
Bam!
Alright, Orange 49 Lima.
Skidding down the runway.
Thank you for your great
See the winds rocking away.
Love the dog mug.
Orange
Looking
49
good.
Lima, are you able to perform height and orbit at present position for separation?
Sounds like we've all bunched up a little bit. There's another Jet 2 zipping in.
Roger,
Faro's alive.
hold on Gyno for separation for Orange 49 Lima.
Oh my god, so I can see 3 sets of lights. Whoops. Brooks, thank you very much. That is very generous of you. Just purchased a Captain Loki mug. Very exciting. You must send us a photograph with it when it gets delivered. I've got one myself actually, I love it. Should we find out how we've done on New Sky, folks? Let's fire that up, there it is. We'll close this.
Easy 3 Charlie Mike, welcome to Faro, taxi via Papa
10.
Bravo.
Love it, great touchdown. In challenging conditions actually, so it's given us the fact that we had quite a crosswind.
Osprey 904 Hotel.
Yeah, but we very quick to correct back to the centre line. Look.
Osprey 904 Hotel, winds 230 degrees 6 knots, variable between 190 and 260, runway 28.
I'll take that. Small profit of $8,000, 9,000. Who's Loki, Chris? Is asking. My dog.
Line up away behind the arriving traffic.
Yeah,
on 4 mile
it's the
final,
chief woofer.
383.
Right.
Lufthansa 61 Echo Yankee, good evening. We are at stand 318.
The tower looks pretty good, doesn't it? That's actually, I think, one of the best towers that RDPresets has done. Certainly if you compare that against Naples, which is not that great, I'll be honest, in my opinion anyway. That looks really nice. And the apron textures look really cool as well. That kind of baked Portuguese feel as well. Let's watch a couple more of these touchdowns. There's the fire station over there. We've got one on short final, maybe 4 miles.
Osprey 7 Papa Romeo, Faro.
And we've got absolute whopper of a VOR, but a little issue there though. Windsock underneath it, so that's something not quite right.
Osprey 7 Papa Romeo, sorry, 8 firm, turn...
Might have just been planted there by accident.
fly northbound to enter the ILS.
There's the fire station. That's Tango, no worries buddy, have a good day. You can see the windsock there in relation to the runway. So actually the aeroplanes are likely to be pointing us. In fact they are. Because I know, we're watching his takeoff field. Elk, hello to you. Is that you in the EasyJet waiting to depart by any chance?
Ryanair 144, hello, is at 2,500 speed, speeding 200 knots inbound for
Here we go.
The ILS Degree
Easy fella.
8 approaches Faro.
Awesome touchdown. Much better than what I'd pulled off there. Andrew Brown, welcome, welcome.
Two traffic still not established on the ILS. You will be the number 3. Maintain on separation.
Roger, Ryanair
Problem is, Christopher, Tower can't, because when we're calling him, we have effectively, removed the Sobo Faro.
You can continue on the route and reduce speed to minimum approach speed.
Roger, I'll continue.
Yeah, we're already established effectively, so it's kind of down to us to establish good separation things, isn't it? EasyJet's about to go. There's a couple of the instrument landing system bits there. These look pretty cool actually, look at that.
DC-383, wind 320 degrees 6 knots.
Let's watch him.
190 and 260 degrees. KARNO 828, clear for takeoff. Bye bye.
Clear for takeoff, runway 28, bye bye.
He's rolling.
Osprey 904 Hotel, welcome to Faro. Continue via Papa, taxi via Bravo.
Oh yeah, I might have done that a few times, Doc. 2 towers, 2 signs.
Taxi via Papa, Bravo, stand 321.
Lufthansa 61 Echo Yankee, confirm ready to copy clearance.
Yes sir, we are ready.
Oh my god! Is that positive rate gear up? Oh, he's gone for a Boeing 787 takeoff. Squint and you'll believe that we're in the Paris Air Show. Oh my god!
Lufthansa 61 Echo Yankee is clear to Munich.
That's insane.
Whiskey.
I'm not convinced he's going to actually make it to his destination.
60 and Fox 5237.
What else have we got here?
Lufthansa 61 Echo Yankee, read back correct.
Oh, I think that was intentional. Here's a nice little vineyard. I think this was what somebody mentioned earlier on about the trees just plopped. Is it meant to be a vineyard or is it meant to be a car park? I'm not sure actually. It makes sense if it's a vineyard. And then actually it's not too bad seeing them all kind of laid out in a big line.
The hold at Golf India Mike Alpha Lima. It's already possible to get back to the ILS runway 28 to approach.
We've got a big old solar farm.
Lima firm proceed to gap D for the ILS runway 28.
You want to deboard crew.
Oh, GSX.
Go direct gap D for the ILS to runway 28 approach.
A big old construction area as well, nice crane in the way.
Lima traffic inbound gap D at traffic northbound gap D at 13 miles.
Couple of Osprey still landing. We've got this. Well, actually quite a lot to see, to be fair. Look at all that.
Get traffic for northbound at about 3 miles from gap D for orange.
Yeah, they're not vines, but yeah. I'm not really sure what it's meant to be.
Thank you.
Big old rusty, I'm trying to think what aeroplane that is now. 707 or something? No, not sure.
Ryanair 144 is established for runway 28 on the climb.
727.
Ryanair 144, reduce to minimum approach speed, continue approach runway 28, wind 230 degrees 6 knots.
Ryanair 144, repeat again.
Reduce to minimum approach speed and continue runway 28.
Reduce to minimum approach speed, continue runway 28, Ryanair 144.
Rightio. What do you reckon, folks? Shall we draw the first winner after this guy lands? And then we've got two of these, two copies of this scenery to give away. To two winners on the channel today, 2 subscribers. We give away one now as he lands, and then we'll wait for the last pilot to fly in as well. We still need to explore the scenery quite a bit as well, to be fair. That looked very good. Look at that crabbing there, wow. Good work. Oh.
Orange 400 Lima traffic information is an A320
I don't know what that was.
passing your 11 o'clock 4 miles.
11 o'clock 4 miles and A320 for Orange 490 Lima.
He did, gave us a little bow. Mushy piece, yeah, a little endo.
Orange 490 Lima has the traffic inside.
Orange 490 Lima, Roger, maintain on separation.
Magic's coming in.
Easy 33 is back with you. We're going to come round for an ILS approach runway 28.
Easy 383, climb 4,000 feet due to traffic passing
So,
at your
Nightbot is doing the roll to see who's won. Good luck to all of you who have entered. We've got 77 entries, in fact. The answer, of course, ALAGU, popular word in the chat today, no doubt. Good luck to everybody who's taken part. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. We've still yet to explore the scenery as well, so as always, if you do get drawn as a winner, you've got 24 hours as of now to contact me. BritishAvGeek1 at gmail.com or directly via our Discord server, the link for which is in the live stream chat on frequent occasions, or you can use the command !Discord to access that. So do contact me, otherwise we'll give the copy away elsewhere to someone else. And the first winner of 2 today, courtesy of RDPresets, is Christopher Levin. Congratulations.
Europa 560, our number 1, wind 230 degrees 6 knots, continue approach, runway 28.
So there's our first winner of 2. We've still got one more left to give away as well.
Easy 383, traffic
Ryanair inbounds.
Boeing 737, right behind you at 1.5 miles, 2,000 feet, confirm inside.
Aircraft in sight, easy 383.
Easy 383, traffic is number 2, you are number 3, report final runway 28, number 3.
We're number 3.
Here he is, pointing right towards the camera. Wonderful touchdown. Bit actually, yeah, that is the touchdown zone. Just the way I'm sat here with the camera. That looked like a great job.
Lima, traffic on final approach, 8 mile final, confirm inside.
Traffic inside, Orange 490 Lima.
Orange 490 Lima.
Harry, yeah, we were watching it earlier.
Number 2, maintain on separation.
How are we doing? Still got one on short final, my goodness. How many more we got left to fly in?
Orange 490 Lima.
Bravo, correction, Osprey 7 Papa Romeo, welcome to Faro, continue on Papa, then Bravo stand...
Right, then we've got 1, Hergy.
325.
2E.
Continue to Papa, then Bravo,
Easy.
and can you get that stand
Aegean.
314?
We've got 4 coming in.
Bravo, correction, Osprey 7 Papa Romeo.
Oh, and Max, I think, as well. But I'm
Alright,
not sure actually about Max.
324
He's still further up in Portugal. Let's see. We can spot this from a different part of the airport scenery, because we've got lots to see.
Welcome to Faro, continue on Papa, hold short Bravo.
Continue Papa, hold short Bravo, Ryanair 144.
Looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Europa 560, wind 230 degrees 6 knots, variable between 190 and 260 degrees, runway 20, correction, runway 28, clear flight.
Hey, Europa.
28 cleared for land, Europa 560.
You know what that is? This is 787.
Faro Tower, speed 22 Golf Quebec is over on stand 20, crossing our 5 minutes of Heathrow, please.
Speedbird 22 Golf Quebec,
Here he comes.
Faro Tower.
Big boy.
QNH 1013, break clear to London Heathrow.
Hey, welcome.
Start departure, runway 28, initial climb, flight level 60, squawk 2152.
Squawk 2152.
It is Aidan, yes.
Off on the Avira 1 Victor departure, initially up to 6,000, off flight 60 for 22 Golf Quebec.
Speedbird 22 Golf Quebec.
That's quite the crab, isn't it? Yeah, Doc, that's a good point actually. You just said there, Portugal's pretty much complete. Lisbon, Porto, Faro, Madeira, Porto Santo, and Santos Dumont all have payware sceneries.
Is 322.
Stand 322 by Bravo, right now, 144.
Oh my goodness. Breakaway. Oh, I don't know where that TUI's going.
EC383, orange, correction, EC383 traffic is a Boeing 737 on very short final runway 28, 2000 feet. The traffic is clearing the final, we are number 2.
We're number 2 and yeah, we have the
Pointing right towards us, look at that. Runway's on the left.
Lima, confirm intention.
He's giving us a little wave, that's incredible. Bigger the aeroplane, the bigger the inertia.
Going to establish the island.
Here we go.
Again for 9 Lima.
And flare.
Landing
runway
28.
Look good.
It's
always hard to tell with GSX and, or not GSX, but the model matching and things, but I think that looked pretty good. Good job.
Orange 49 Lima, turn left immediately, fly northbound.
Turn left, fly northbound for 9 Lima.
222 Golf Quebec ready for start.
On correction, EC380 traffic 12 o'clock, 2000 feet, confirm inside.
Traffic inside, EC383.
EC283 traffic is clearing the final.
So let's just try and see a bit more of the scenery. Jeez. Alright, so what have we done so far? We've done the tower, we've had a little blitz around, a little dance around this cargo centre here.
Speedbird 22 Golf Quebec, stand by for push, number 1.
Couple of custom transit vans there, US Army cargo, bit random. Omni handling and safe port located there as well.
Northbound.
And the fuel farm.
Fly northbound for 9 Lima.
We go right out to the edge of the airport first and work our way in. We'll begin here.
For the runway 28, orange for 9 Lima.
The world's fastest bendy bus.
Confirm visual approach.
Affirmative, visual approach, runway 28.
Don't even know what that's meant to be. Obviously a statue at the airport, but we've got this entry road in the scenery, which is nice as well. It kind of gives you that, look at that drive into the airport. Round the roundabout.
Europa 560.
One heck of a drop there. Jesus.
Continue on Papa, then Bravo, stand 314.
Papa, Bravo, do stand 314, Europa 560.
Speedbird 22 Golf Quebec, push and start approved, facing east.
I would have thought there should be something written on that.
Europa 560, revise taxi clear and taxi via Papa and Charlie, stand 325.
Papa, Charlie,
the heck is that supposed to be?
567.
Thank you.
I have a feeling that... Are these meant to be here? Maybe they are. You know what? It's a bit of a trick actually on my eyes. I was kind of looking at it thinking, are they railroads? Are they train tracks?
230 degrees, 6 knots, variable between 190 and 2603.
Ah yes, they're written in green, that's why that's why we can't see it. Got a sign there though, look. Party DAS departures. Good old MSFS bug with the flashing textures. Look at that.
Orange 49 Lima, Roger, you're in good position. Report final runway 28, number 2.
Little bush there in the textures, a little bit out of place, but otherwise pretty good. Building looks really nice for quite a complex airport, to be fair, and it's a very minimalist kind of departures area, isn't it? I suppose otherwise it gets a little bit silly with performance potentially. Ah, good old Macca's. What have they got on the menu? Wow, I can actually read it. Cream Egg McFlurry, the best kind.
This is Boeing 738 Ryanair 5451.
We've got the security point there as well.
With information whiskey, request IFR clearance to Oporto.
Ryanair 5451, Porto Tower, boa tarde. Clearance available information whiskey QNH 1013, break clear to Porto.
I don't think he's got his gear out. And now he's froze. Oh no, he's back in. He's definitely not got his gear down. Please don't upset the controller. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Lufthansa 61 Echo Yankee, stand by.
He's down, but he's run out of runway.
5451, clear to Porto via
Roll the
ERWAN
trucks.
Victor departure. Flight level, initial flight level 600 feet, squawk 54226, QNH 1013.
Ryanair 5451,
Christ. On that note though, the building looks quite nice, doesn't it? From the outside especially, this kind of chrome reflective effect there with the textures and the surface work that they've done. That looks quite good. There was a restaurant here, wasn't there? My eye's deceiving me. Oh yeah, right here. Yeah, the Traveller's Rest. Looks pretty nice actually as a scenery, to be fair. What else we got here? Rent-a-car, auto carros, some parking bits, and we got the under kind of that shelter there as well for the buses in the car park.
Winds 230 degrees 6 knots, variable between 190 and 260 degrees, runway 28.
Yeah, it's a Rolls-Royce variant, William.
Clear to land, runway 28, Orange 49 Lima.
We have an airside departures. We do. Smash. Just a basic one. That goes through to security where it all connects, but look at that. I've not been to Faro actually, because this obviously looks like a new airport, so I don't know if this looks exactly how it does. The commentator says was in there the other week. So what do you think? If you're familiar with the airport, much more important than what I think. Smash. Always got to do a sound effect. There's one on final, where is it? A few miles.
Pittsburgh 22 Golf Quebec, taxi via Delta and Papa, runway 28.
Big old signs. We got to look at the nighttime emissions as well. Have you got the menu for the Traveller's Rest? Steve is asking. Not sure.
From left to right, when cleared of traffic, push and start.
We can Google it.
When clear, push and start.
Big old tanks there. 6 rent-a-car, all the rental car centres there actually. Look, 6 Europe car and all that. Really nicely done. 1 on short final. A couple of caravans in the car park. Why not? Oh, but the textures on the apron look fantastic, don't they? Here we go. Right in the crosswind. Really nice touchdown. Great job. You got the big old set of trees there as well that somebody was mentioning. I think it was Brian at the start of the stream saying it looks a little bit random. But I suppose you'd have to hand create the trees specifically for it, wouldn't you? Oh, look at this. A water treatment works. I think it's the first time I've seen one of these in the sim. You can almost smell it.
Faro Tower, Ryanair 5451, request pushback and start.
Looks good, doesn't it? Look at that.
Ryanair 545.
It's a great backdrop.
We can start approach, I think east.
House.
Push and start approach, facing east, Ryanair 5451.
It's a very impressive model look, as a building, isn't it?
Welcome to Faro, taxi via Papa, hold short Bravo.
Yeah, inside,
Taxi via
pretty
Papa,
average, isn't it? It's just kind
Bravo,
of very basic inside. That's fine though. It all depends on the price as well and the performance. Performance is quite nice. I've noticed no stutters or anything like that. Colours, the textures in 4K are exquisite. That's quite an impressive backdrop there, isn't it? Yeah, there's a fair bit going on outside.
Pittsburgh 22 Golf Quebec after departure, monitor Unicom.
That building is quite impressive. Let's have a look, see what it looks like at night time, shall we? So I'll just swivel the drone camera around.
After departure on Unicom,
Yeah.
winds clear to take off 28, 22 Golf Quebec. Thank you, bye bye.
We'll have a little bit of purple in as well. Yes, this looks very good. So the RD preset Naples scenery is, in my opinion, quite poor with the nighttime emissives. This is a whole step up for them, I think. Really nice. Look at that.
Orange 49er Lima, continue on Papa, left on Delta, stand of choice.
Continue on Papa, left on Delta, and stand of choice.
There's the tower.
Thanks for
Is that proud
Orange 49 Lima.
above the horizon?
Yeah, no worries, thank you for flying.
We've got the taxiway lights and everything else as well. VA's off, back to Heathrow. There we go. And yeah, custom apron lighting too. And oh, a little baked in Faro sign. I like it. Very nice indeed. Very, very nice indeed. Looks quite good at night, doesn't it? Yeah, as Rox is saying there. Go back to live time. Zoop. Mind your eyes. Can we find out who our final winner is for today? That's all of our pilots in, I believe. So, let's see where we can get strategic with the positioning of this. Oh, that's a screenshot and a half. Everyone flying along, I think that is. Good luck to everyone. One more final copy to give away. I hope you've enjoyed the last 4 hours with us whilst we've been live, almost 4 hours at least. And the final winner today of this really nice RD preset Faro Airport scenery is Not. Congratulations to you. Again, contact me within 24 hours to claim your prize. We'll get it sorted. And thank you to everyone else who has taken part and entered as well. There are always going to be more giveaways in the future on the channel. Always quite fun. If you want to purchase this scenery, head to Contrail. Click the link in the live chat description. And that will take you straight to the product page for RD Preset Faro. Not sure when the next live stream will be. Still got a lot of dog care and stuff like that to manage. A few other things going on. Most likely 8th of July, but if I can stream before that, it might well be the case like today, where a stream will just pop up in on that day. So keep your eye out. There may or may not be something in the future. It's kind of hard to tell in the immediate future, but otherwise, yeah, 8th of July I think is the most likely day again where we'll be able to stream. Thank you to our ATC here at Faro today. And those of you that have clicked the like button, hit subscribe perhaps for the first time, and Rox as well for purchasing some channel merchandise. Enjoy it. Shouldn't take too long to get to you. Maybe 5 days or so, based on where you live. Roughly, depending on where you live, it could take a little longer, maybe a little shorter. But in the meantime, as always, thank you very much for watching. Faro's super busy. And yeah, enjoy the rest of the week ahead. Thanks for flying along and being here, and I'll see you soon. Take care.